Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United versus Inter Milan match chat with Mark Goldbridge, and if you're here for the match reaction, click the link in the video description. You'll know the result by now and you can talk about that. But we are live at the moment. We are still about 35 minutes away from kickoff. We've got the team news for you. It is confirmed on your left-hand side there. And I tell you what, I think it's a cry for help from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I really do. I think that is possibly Manchester United's strongest lineup. De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Matic, Pogba, Lingard in a midfield three with James, Martial and Rashford. It's a good side. It's a good side. But what I would say is, what if we get a couple of injuries? Where's the depth on the bench? It's a good... I'm not going to be negative and say it's a bad side. It's a good side. But that team very easily could be battling with Watford for 8th. It's not a top 4 side. It's a good side, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is sending a message there that centre back, you had Maguire in there. That's a better defence. Midfield, you had Bruno Fernandes in there. You've got a better midfield, and then I think it becomes a team that can be fourth best this season. So it's a couple of players away. It's 3 players away, really. It needs 2 midfielders, and you look at the bench, and it's dodgy. It's a dodgy bench, but the team is good. It's a good first team, but I'm excited for this game, but I'm not excited for the season based on that. And when it first came out, I was like, oh, it's a good team, and it is a good team. But over a course of a Premier League season, 38 games, when you're picking up injuries and people are dropping out of form, that team doesn't even wake Liverpool or Man City or Spurs up. It's a good team. It ain't going to do many massive waves in the Premier League, I'm afraid, in my opinion. Desperately need to get those transfers over the line. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because when we talk about transfers, I put this up on Twitter today. Last summer, we spent about £70 million on Dalot and on Fred. So we spent 70 million. But we sold Daley Blind for about 20 million. And we sold Fellaini in January for 10. So that's 30. So actually, in the last year, we've spent £40 million. Now we're going into this transfer window, we've spent 70 million again. If we sell Lukaku, that pretty much wipes that out. So in 3 transfer windows, if you count January, Manchester United, with the biggest revenue, certainly in the Premier League, have spent about 40 million quid. And we're meant to be on a rebuild. It is what it is, but it is shockingly crap from the board again. And Ed Woodward's going to get his bonus, isn't he? But we're here to talk about Inter. Matthew Ashford says McTominay better than Matic. I agree. I do agree with that. I say Fred's better than Matic. Pereira better than Matic. But Ollie does like to... I mean, if you look at that starting lineup, where's Greenwood? Where's Chong? Where's Gomez? I mean, it's nice to see Tuanzebe starting. Of course it is. But he has gone with the experience. And this was something that was levelled at Ollie last season by a lot of you lot. He talks a good game about the youth when it doesn't really matter. But when it starts to matter, where is the youth? And today, in our first real test, I suppose, against Inter Milan, there is no real youth apart from Tuanzebe, who, to be fair, got promoted with Villa. So he's not like you're chucking in a young centre-back, to be honest, is it? So, look, I think it's a good team. With regards to Inter Milan, welcome to Mogan's Daneland. With regards to Inter Milan, they've put quite a good team out. What I would say is Perisic is on the bench. They've been out and spent money already. They've bought Nicola Barella from Cagliari, who I really like. I wanted him to start today because United were linked to him in January. He's on the bench as well. But Skriniar plays. Obviously, Handanovic, I think, is the goalkeeper. Brozovic is playing. De Vrij, the centre-back's playing. They're struggling for players up front, but it'll be a test. I mean, what I would say is what I said last night. I don't think you can learn a hell of a lot from United winning this game 3 or 4-0. I think United will win it because I think our fitness levels are higher. And in many ways, you almost want United to have a tough game today. Like, you almost want Inter Milan to be better than I think they're going to be and maybe expose a few of our weaknesses so that there is that pressure to get in the transfer market. Because I think if we go and win 3 or 4-0 today and we go and beat Spurs on Thursday, we'll wrongly fall into this trap of, oh, look at us, we don't need any signings. And pre-season, it doesn't matter if you lose games and it doesn't matter if you win games. You don't learn anything from pre-season. So part of me hopes that Inter Milan are better than I think they will be. I think Inter Milan are a week behind us on training, which is big in the pre-season. Forrest Gump is better than Matic. Least he can run, says Kilalachi Gaming. And Lukaku fee cushions the Maguire, both overpriced, but I can't knock it. Both are fulfilled. Says Crossfade Equaliser. Well, I've got Paul coming on in a minute, but what I would say is about a little bit of transfer news for you. The latest on Bruno Fernandes is that he might end up staying at Sporting Lisbon because United won't pay £62 million for him. Look, this is where ownership and people who do our transfers becomes very frustrating, because I said all along, and I know a lot of you agreed and said it yourselves, to be fair, with regards to Wan-Bissaka, he was always a £50 million player. And when we were negotiating for like 2 or 3 weeks and we were like, why is it taking so long? So many of you were saying, just pay the 50 million quid. We've got so many more deals we need to do. Pay the 50 million quid. You're not being robbed. He's worth 50 million in today's market. And we took 3 weeks to do it, but we paid it. With Harry Maguire, is he worth 80 million? Probably not, but you can see why Leicester want it. Maybe we should have got that deal done. But with regards to Bruno Fernandes, he actually is worth 62 million quid. Like, we're not being robbed there. No one's going to say you paid 62 million pounds for Bruno Fernandes. You've been robbed. The season he's had and the status he's built in Portugal, and he plays for the first team for Portugal national side, he's worth 62 million. We paid 52 million for Fred, who was a bench player for a pretty bang average Brazil side. So from Shakhtar Donetsk, you know, so I just don't understand why we're haggling on deals other than trying to save money. But Bruno Fernandes, it's there to be done. It's there to be done. And again, all I ever said is, look, I've been up to 90% sure we're going to sign Bruno Fernandes, and I'm not going to change it. But why I won't go to 100% is simply because I don't trust this board. I don't trust United's board. They haggle the death out of deals and they lose deals. Like, we're playing Inter Milan tonight. 2 years ago, Perisic was coming to United. Mourinho wanted him. Perisic wanted to come to us. Inter Milan wanted to sell. We wouldn't pay the 5 million more, and we didn't end up with anything. And that is a massive frustration in relation to Manchester United's board. And I don't care what they think. I don't really care what they think about my opinion or your opinion on that. The evidence is there. Our board will screw up deals trying to save a penny. And that is the only thing that will destroy the Maguire and Bruno Fernandes deals, in my opinion. Could you please read out a DM by me, Harry_Broads PL, says Harry Broadbent. Well, if I get time to go over onto Twitter, I will. Salah says, will the team change in the second half? There will be substitutions in the second half, but they're not going to be as widespread as we've seen in the previous 2 games. Ollie said that we'll make changes, but some players are going to be playing 60 to 70 minutes. And I certainly think he's starting with you could argue he's starting with his strongest side, to be honest with you, but he's certainly starting with a strong side. Make sure if you are new, you do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. You're very, very welcome. If you are finding the United Stand for the first time, you've found a fantastic channel. We've got a brilliant community. Everybody is welcome. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got Flex at the games, at all the games. He's over there in Singapore. He'll be doing fan cams and a match day vlog as per usual. Every morning, 7 a.m, we've got the Transfer Daily, Monday to Friday. If there's any breaking news, we'll go live. Any matches, we're live all the way through. Match reactions, loads to get involved with. So please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can get up to 506,000 today. Simon Byway says the transfer window is pissing me off no end. And I've got to agree with Simon on that, because today is a nice thing, because at the end of the day we support Manchester United Football Club. What's the most important thing about that? It's actually watching a game of football. Having said that, I can't get overly excited about this team because I know it's not good enough. I know it's not good enough. Even if that team wins 5-0 today, I know it's not good enough to get top 4. And that we saw that last season. We're a weaker team than we were last year. So that is my frustration at the moment. Is, yeah, it's great. I love pre-season. I love the tour. I think there's a good feel to it. But you've also got to look at the bigger picture, and I just do not have faith in... And as I said at the end of last season, I don't trust a lot of those players as well. And I haven't seen enough coming in to make me want to trust that team. But we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully, Paul can hear me and his audio will work, and I'm sure he'll kick in a minute when he hears that I'm in there with him as well. Paul, you all right, mate?
You all right, Mark?
I'm good, thanks. What's your thoughts on the team?
I'm buzzing for it, to be honest, mate. I think it's really good. I think Ollie's trying to narrow down his best team for the start of the Premier League. We've only got 3 games left to do so. The problem we've had in the last 3 years, maybe, is not knowing our first 11. I think that's what he wants to get near. So, as far as I can see it, the 3 holes that I can see for me personally, Matic, Lingard, and Twanzebe are the three players that we're strongly linked with to replace those positions in Longstaff, Maguire, and Fernandes. So all in all, as a well-rounded team, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as I said that when I started, I'm not negative about that team. I think it's a good team. And I think, I sort of said as well, it cries out that Ollie is exposing the issues of that team, which is Twanzebe, who I think will be a good centre-back in the future, but he's not the centre-back we needed going into the summer. We need a dominant, experienced one, which would be Maguire. Lingard is... I mean, when was the last time Lingard actually played well? He normally plays well in a pre-season tour, and he's not done. He's been very invisible so far. Let's hope he has a good game today. And then the Matic position. So yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I think if we do get Longstaff, Fernandes, and Maguire in, I'd be much more confident about us getting top four, which is the aim. I mean, let me just read some of the super chats we've got coming in. Cranfield Group says, I have a feeling we won't sign anyone else. Apparently, second offer was 40 million plus 20 million add-ons rejected for Maguire. We won't go above 50 million for Fernandes, which is ridiculous. Reshan Rose says, Mark, I think if we lost by 3 goals, they would take this transfer more seriously. There is a theory to that, but I can't see Inter scoring a goal, to be honest. Jordan Such, do you think United are waiting for the last week of the transfer window to announce new contracts for Pogba and possibly De Gea? Yes, I think they will try and do that, and that is a worry. And Tony05 says, Woodward wants to be seen as a tough negotiator, but the fact is, his ego is ruining our chances of signing top players. I mean, look, if we do give De Gea a contract and Pogba a new contract, I wouldn't put it past United to do that, Paul, because they did it in January transfer window with Martial. It's a cover-up, really. How confident are you about the transfers? Because people are, myself included, are starting to get a little bit concerned.
I'm completely lost on the transfers, to be honest, Mark. We've got the money. I don't understand why we're not putting it in. As you said, Wan-Bissaka was a £50 million defender. We all knew he was a £50 million defender. United knew he was a £50 million defender. And we took 3 weeks to work out that we're going to have to pay 50 million quid. And it was just obvious. So I don't understand why it takes so long. And if you look at what we're doing, we're trying to get cheap deals from clubs which don't need to sell. And it's obvious we're offering too little in the first place, and then we're going to stagger up to an achievable price. That's what Inter Milan are doing to us with Lukaku. And we're laughing at Inter Milan. We're saying, what are you even doing putting these sort of offers in? So if you look at it retrospectively like that, then the teams that we're trying to purchase from are doing the same thing to us. It feels like we're just mugging them off, and in the same time doing that, mugging ourselves off, because we know we're not going to get these players. Maguire, if he's 75, 80 million, give it over. For the sake of 5 million either way, what's it really going to make a difference? Bruno Fernandes, he's a 50, 60 million pound player. He is. I know his release cost is 36 million pound. It's complicated, but just hand the money over. It's all coming down to pennies. It's not pennies, but in the grand scheme of things, that's what it is, pennies to the club. So, yeah, I'm despondent. I'm hopeful, but it's the hope that kills us, Mark. We keep relying on hope for the players, hope for signings, and it's not good enough for Man United.
If anybody's watching the MUTV coverage, Flex and Josh have actually got pitch side access, so you might actually see them. I'm keeping my eye out for them there. But you know what? You make a good point there, Paul, because we are sort of laughing at Lukaku's, Inter's offers for Lukaku's. Anybody who's not heard, apparently Inter have offered £54 million for Lukaku, which I'll speak about in a moment. But obviously, I personally think we need a little bit more from that, and we're laughing at it. But then, as Paul says, on the other hand, we're putting in ridiculously low offers for people like Maguire and Fernandes. So, can we not see the irony in that? Clearly not. And also, Paul, I think what's going to happen with this transfer window... Dayon French says, I love you, man. You're my favourite Brit. You're so handsome. Thanks, Mum. But with regards to... it's totally made me lose my focus. It's thrown me a little bit there. But... let's talk about Lukaku, because I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. But Lukaku, 54 million quid. What do you think is a reasonable price? And do you think Inter Milan will go for it, or do you think we're going to be stuck with him next season? And is that a good or a bad thing?
Oh, so many questions. I mean, it's all about perspective, isn't it? I think £60 million. I don't think we're going to get any more than that. Mm-hmm. I really don't. I mean, if we don't sell to Inter now, no one else in this window's interested. No one's going to buy in January. And if he has a bit of a stinker this season, he goes down to 45, 50 because of the way he plays. I mean, he's a one-trick pony. So if we can get 60 million, I would take it. But then I understand for once, the point of view in an inflated market for us to sell for 60 million, we're still mugging ourselves off a little bit. What do you reckon?
I just think, Mashu at 99 just says Bruno signing makes little sense unless we sign a DM. No, I think Bruno Fernandes makes a lot of sense, to be honest. He's such a good player, and he would be Herrera's replacement effectively. But I kind
of agree with that a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't see any real interest from United in a CDM. I mean, Longstaff. Yeah, he can play that position, but I don't know about you and everybody at home. We've spoken about it so many times. The CDM that United need, especially if Pogba's staying, is the closest thing you can find to Kante. A real tenacious terrier who's quick and gets the ball and plays it off to the better players, of which there are a few out there, but we're not linked to any of them, and Longstaff's not that sort of player either.
No, I've got this weird obsession with Longstaff, though. It's dead strange.
I know, I do like him. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the fact that he's only played 9 games.
Same with me.
The scouting must be right. You've got to. Well, I'm not going to trust the scouting, but I'm just saying I'm intrigued by the scouting to go for a player like that.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking Ollie's found this little diamond in the rough, and they're the ones that always get me excited. This season, I am most excited to see Daniel James, because I like the young signings. He looks so happy to be at this club. He looks so excited to sign autographs, to be in training, to look around at the amount of people that are interested in him and the club. He just looks like he wants to get out there and prove his worth, which is far from what you can say about a lot of the players that are currently at the club and think they've already made it. Now, I think Longstaff would be the same. I know he's unproven. I cannot say that he's good enough to take that CDM role. I can't. I haven't seen enough of him. I watched a 4-minute YouTube clip and think he's got potential. But the CDM position, Mark, do you know what? For so long, we've had nothing to link the defence to the attack. And we haven't had a good enough defence, a ball-playing defence, to be able to do that either. Now, if we get Maguire and Tuanzebe and Lindelof rotating, and we get Bruno Fernandes in to work with Pogba, and we've got a double pivot like Pogba and CDM and Bruno Fernandes sitting up top with a front three we can put together, which are terrifying. That CDM position is so essential to knit the play together. Someone who can spray the ball like Scholes, who can break the lines and get the ball forward to the front players. And the front players are confident that that's going to happen, so they can prepare in positional terms as best they can. Matic is not going to do it for us. McTominay isn't a CDM. I don't care what you say. He's played at number 10 mostly. He's an attacking midfielder, and I'm tired of wedging square pegs into round holes.
Ali K says, Mark, if we let Lukaku go, we are surely losing a lot of goals without replacing him. Also, do you shave your bottom? I bet it's smooth and pert. God no. I don't do that. And Lukaku, I think, does need to go. I just think, United are going to... What I feel, everybody at home and Paul as well, I think United at the moment, with less than 3 weeks of this transfer window, we are in danger very quickly of being sold a fraud. We were being sold a £200 million quality. You'll be surprised that the quality players want to come here. We've got targets. We're going to rebuild this club. And I think Ollie wants to rebuild it, but I'm sorry. Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James is not a rebuild. We needed 5 in, 3 or 4 out. We're not going to get that, are we? So we're not going to get that. And also what worries me as well, Paul, is that, we can play hardball with Leicester about Maguire. They don't need to sell. We can play hardball with Sporting. They'll just sell other players. So all this hardball is totally and utterly not understanding the position we are in as a football club. We're not a big club and we're not in a big, powerful position. Our transfer window closes before everybody else's. And when it hits that final week, Sporting Lisbon will still be saying they want 62 million. And what do United do? Do we do what we did with Perisic and not get a player because we're stubborn? Or do we pay the price we could have paid 2 weeks ago? And that is what worries me. We're trying to act like we're Billy Big Bollocks, and actually... Everybody knows our transfer window closes. Everybody knows we need these players. But we also know our board would rather walk away than pay a fair price, and we don't get anybody.
Yeah, it's terrifying. We could do a whole show on this for sure. Think about it. The further we get towards the 8th of August, the weaker our position, the more desperate we get, which means the prices aren't going to come down, are they? They're only going to go up, or they're going to stay the same, because we're going to be our position of power weakens as the days go by, which is why I don't understand why we're taking so long. I mean, in terms of why we haven't purchased these players, which we know we need, Ollie knows we need, and the board probably have been informed that we need, is because of money, Mark. And that's what it boils down to. All the decisions eventually bottleneck into us being cheap, and the football is not the priority, money's the priority. That's what it boils down to. But because we know, they know, Ollie knows, and in that press conference, he looked pissed, man. He looked angry. He looked as frustrated as we are.
Definitely, he did. Salah says, I don't think Bruno will happen, unfortunately. And the veteran trainer 88 says, being 6 hours behind finally works for me. The game is 6:30 a.m. here, breakfast and Man United. Woohoo! Yeah, it is not. I mean, that is a nice thing about the pre-season, because you do get to join in and not have to get up at silly hours. I mean, that's, to be honest, the tour's not been bad for us. All the games are around dinner time UK, but when it's in America, it's normally like midnight, 2-3 in the morning, which I know a lot of you have to put up with as well. Give Fred a chance this season. Why or why not, says Mr. Beast. You know where I stand, Paul, on giving people chances? I don't mind giving people chances, but I also don't trust the team from last year who bottled it. And also, I don't have a problem with people being given a chance. And I think we're hearing a lot of this coming out of the club. We're hearing that Carrick's really impressed with Pereira and McTominay. They can be the midfield solution. We're hearing that, there's loads of centre-back options. We're hearing that Greenwood can solve the right-wing issue. And all of those things are positive, and I don't normally have a problem with it. But the only voice I can hear in my head is paper in the cracks. Don't want to spend money. They're not backing the manager, so we're getting all this positive vibe crap out of the club about we don't need to spend money, we've got this great talent. And actually, anybody who's been watching United for the last 6 years knows we haven't got this great talent, because the team isn't good enough and it needed investment. And if it doesn't get investment, I'm actually all for all the Glazer out stuff and the protests that should have happened when the season started, not on a June Saturday afternoon when everyone's on holiday. And if we don't get the money spent, then I think those things need to happen.
Yeah, I listened to that Simon Peach interview with Flex, and that settled my nerves a little bit. And then I read the media and I get frustrated again. And then I listen to James Cooper with Flex, and I'm like, actually, yeah, he speaks sense, wait. And then you read the media again and you get irritated. But I'm with you. I'm waiting until the 8th of August. The 8th of August is deadline. And then we can tell what we need to do, because we will know by the 8th of August the commitment the club have to making us rebuilding this team and making us a better team.
Yeah.
But even if we do hit the 8th of August and we got Maguire and Fernandes, are we happy? I mean, net spend over the last 2 years, and if we sell Lukaku, I think net spend's a big thing to look at when 8th of August hit.
Yes, I can't wait for the 8th of August, because we're having our United Stand get together actually, which will be good, and we'll be doing some live stuff from there, which we can hopefully live stream out to everybody who's not going to be at it. But yeah, that is the big day, and I have tried to stay on track with that all summer and say, look, I'm in that frustrated point now, because I know I can see time running out. I think when you've got a month, you've got 6 weeks, you've even got 3 weeks, you're like, oh, there's still time and everything like that. But we're now basically not going to do anything today. Nothing ever happens really on a Sunday. So on Monday, you're nearly down to 2 weeks, and you still need to buy 3 players. Right. So it is time is running out, and I think that is causing me and many United fans anxiety. However, what you've got to say as well is that there is still time to do stuff. But as I said, the more the time runs out, the stronger Leicester and Sporting Lisbon and Newcastle become. And United need to make a decision. Do they really want to rebuild, or do they want to be that club that's always about saving money? And we know what the likely answer is going to be. What do you think about the Pogba situation? I mean, surely we can't sell him.
We can't now, can we? I wanted to sell him when he came out about wanting a new challenge. I wanted him out. It was, as you say, it pulls at the heartstrings, doesn't it? You just think, get him out, get him gone. He don't want to be here. But if we do that, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. If we organised it 6 weeks ago, I'd say we could roll over Milinkovic-Savic, have an extra 70 million left in the bank to spend, and rebuild. And I'd have been happy with that. Pogba wants to go, we get the money, we get an opportunity to reinvest and recreate the starting 11. But now, if we sell him in the next week or two, we've got no chance of turning over a decent player back in. But everyone's going to know we've got 150 million quid in our pocket, and everyone's going to go, don't matter who we buy. We want Longstaff, 150 million quid, please, mate. They're going to absolutely lynch us. So he has to stay. He has to do Ronaldo, mate. One more year, put everything you got into it. We'll let you get a Real Madrid, 120 million quid. That's me. That's my opinion.
It's interesting with Pogba and De Gea because when we came into the summer, my understanding of it was that Pogba would go and that De Gea might go, Pogba was going to stay. Then just before Pogba did that video in Japan saying he wanted a new challenge, I heard that Pogba wants to go and United want him to go. United know about it, but De Gea will stay. I still think Pogba wants to go, and I think we all know De Gea is going to sign the new contract. But I just don't see. I'm pretty confident Pogba will stay because if he doesn't, we are in a right mess. Because you're right to say you'd have to sign a Pogba replacement, and I know for a fact that Bruno Fernandes is not a Pogba replacement. Bruno Fernandes was meant to be coming in. As I said, they scouted him all last season, so it would be. It just can't even happen. It just can't happen that Pogba will go. But a lot depends on whether Pogba would consider taking extreme sort of Neymar action and stop going training and sort of go on strike, which I don't think he would, which I think is what will save us.
No, no. I don't think he will either. I don't think he's that guy, which is good because otherwise we'd have an absolute nightmare on our hands because we won't bend. His ego is huge. I think that's why the deals take so long because he wants to go to the Glazers and go, look what I've done, and get a big pat on the back, for saving us 5 million quid or whatever. So if it comes down to Ed versus Pogba, that's going to be Clash of the Titans, man, and it's not going to end well. So hopefully Pogba will just suck it up, spend another year at United. We can build a team around him, as Ollie says, and then get hopefully a direct replacement when we have to sell him next year. And has been our best player on tour. So I'll tell you what, when he's on it, he runs the game, man. He really does. I mean, he's superb. And replacing Pogba is going to be so difficult.
You just wonder why he's on it.
Season.
You wonder why he is on it, don't you? Because is he on it because he's saying to Real Madrid, "Look how good I am," or is he on it because he's like, you know what, I will buckle down? But what I would say about Pogba as well, and I want to talk about Inter Milan quickly before the game starts. But what I would say about Pogba as well is, if we as United fans are sat here going, that team cannot finish in the top four, and Paul Pogba sat there in his mid-20s, a World Cup winner, saying, saying I want to go, who's right and who's wrong? Well, Paul Pogba's right. You know, if we can see it, he can see it, and he must know I've got another year of playing in the Europa League definitely and fighting for fifth. You know, and that's what he's got in front of him. So he must be as frustrated as we are if he's going to stay, because where's the investment?
My view upon it is he's been lied to. I reckon he's been sold a dream when he's come to the club in terms of building a brand new team and a rebuild. And we haven't done it. So I think Pogba, surrounded by world-class players, you can have a world-class team, obviously you are. But we've done nothing of the sorts. And he's thinking, at the end of my career, people are going to judge my career on silverware and trophies. That's what it boils down to. And at the moment, in the next 3 years, he's literally been told by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we are not winning the Premier League, which means we're not winning the Champions League as well. So
and he's touching 30 by then, isn't he?
Yeah, he's touching 30 by then, and he's looking for his last payday. I don't blame Pogba for leaving, but I do blame Pogba for the way he's going about it. He could have laid down the foundations 3-4 months ago with Raiola, built up a strategy for leaving, so we're good and he's good. But he just dropped the bomb. So I don't blame Pogba for leaving. I do blame him for the way he's going about it. And I don't think Pogba's been a great success at this club, but I do think he's the best player we got. So it's a puzzle. It's an enigma. But if he stays one more year, I think he's going to do really well this year if he stays.
Right, okay. So you're looking very handsome today, Mark, says Shane Round. That's nice of him to say. Paul, I'm just going to quickly pop off for a quick toilet break before the game. Can you just give us your thoughts on the Inter Milan game? And I'll be back in a minute.
Yes, mate. Of course I can. I don't really know much about Inter Milan, but It looks like a reasonably strong team they're putting out, and I don't know. They're only a week into pre-season training. We're a couple of weeks in, so fitness is going to come into it. I think we're going to outlast them on that, but they might do the full 11-man rotation we did on the first couple of games that we took. So I think in terms of tactically, we're going to be better off in terms of the position we're at, but it's going to be a tough game. I don't know much about the players they've got. And they haven't got any strikers, which is why they're looking for Lukaku. But it's going to be difficult. What do you think? What's the score predictions, guys? What do you think we're going to? What do you think we're going to beat Inter Milan by? Because I think it's going to be 3-1, personally. And I'm hoping Greenwood gets a goal. I think Greenwood's, along with Daniel James, is probably the most exciting young talent that we've got. The guy looks absolutely immense, man. He fits right in. He's 17 years old. He does not look out of place in that team. I think he's going to leaps and bounds this year, but this is only if Ollie gives youth a chance. And that's one thing about the starting lineup. He's not really embedding the youth into what is perceived to possibly be our first 11, or almost our first 11.
Well, Lingard shouldn't be in there, should he? I'm back now, Paul. But I don't understand why Lingard's in there when it's a meaningless...
Don't get me started on Lingard.
Well, it is a pre-season game, and I know it's a test, but Lingard's done nothing last season and nothing in pre-season to deserve that starting spot. Whereas Greenwood, Chong, Gomez, all three of them have shown in pre-season real positivity. So why would you not stick with one of those three options, and why would you play Lingard? And they're seeing, I'm a cynic, and I look at what United do, and even their poster for today's game, it's three players. I think it's Rashford, Pogba, but it's Lingard centre stage. And I think United have fallen into a trap with Lingard. Yeah, when he's on his game, he's decent, but when he's on his game, he isn't Pogba, he's not Martial, he's not that level. He's a decent player on his game, which comes few and far between. But I think United are just so absorbed with the brand Lingard that it almost gets him selected for first team games now. I
don't know. Is this selection based on social media clout? What? Because
I don't know. It must be something because it's not.
Love him.
Yeah.
He's been terrible. The opening couple of games he's been non-existent, disappeared completely, did nothing. And when he did have the ball, he made a mess of it. And Lingard is better than. He is a game changer when he comes on as a sub. He's a great bench. I'd definitely keep him as a bench. And he's, local lad. He's on a fortune. But as a bench player, he's great. But we know, and you say it all the time, Mark, like Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard, Smalling, Jones. If we keep them, they're going to start games. And that's where the problem starts. Because
it's the same with Matic, isn't
over
it? Lingard.
Yeah, Matic again. He's going to start games, but I think Gomez on the ball. What I look for on the ball is composure and doing the right thing at the right time. I think football intelligence is the thing that makes you. It steps you up above the rest of the players. And Gomez has got it. He does the right thing at the right time. Composed on the ball. He's such a graceful player. Him over Lingard every day of the week. I think we should introduce him. But as I was saying, when you're away, if this is the possible starting 11, and as you said at the beginning of the show, there isn't any youth being introduced.
No. You're breaking up a little bit, Paul, there anyway, but what we're going to do is we're nearly at kick-off anyway, so I'll get you on at half-time if that's all right, mate.
Yeah, sweet. Happy days. Hopefully we're a couple of goals up.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming on, and I'll speak to you at half-time.
Yep, speak to you in a bit. See you, Mark.
Cheers, Paul. Really appreciate Paul dropping on there. He's actually one of our moderators, so you can interact with him on the live comments. But we'll get him back at half time. Anamarish Ranyan says, whom do you think the fans are going to blame in December when Ollie gets fired if we don't get our business done and our season unravels? Players, probably. And Ari Guadalia says, Mark, honestly, I think we're not going to make any signings. Our only hope is that the youth team turns up. I see Lingard struggling and it will show. Look, Lingard normally has a good pre-season. I thought this was going to be his opportunity to pull the wool over the eyes for the season ahead. But, as I said, Paul is right there. Like, where is the youth? Like, because it's a pre-season game against Inter Milan and the youth have played really well. So he picks a team today and it's a strong team. So why would you not play one or two youth players? And I don't count Twan Sebi as a youth player because he's been on loan in the Championship and played, well over half Villa's games. He was a key player for them. So he's physically ready. Gomez should be playing where Lingard is playing today, and McTominay or Pereira should be playing where Matic is. But we go back to this thing that we saw last season, and many of us said this at the end of last season. If Ashley Young's starting games next year, it's going to make me have a big question mark over Ollie. Well, that's not going to happen because we've got Wan-Bissaka, and that's a big tick. But it's down a level a little bit, isn't it? Because why Lingard and Matic starting games? Like, there are better options, but it betrays this obsession with experience. Oh, they're good in the dressing room. Well, are they good on the pitch? Are they good on the pitch? That's what I want to know. Ari Guadalia says, honestly, I think, we've read that one. David James, Daniel James, CAM, Greenwood, right wing, says, Eid boy. And Murray Hurt says, as a young player, Lingard needs playing time to develop. Give him time. I knew someone would do that. Good one, Murray. Let us know in the live comments where you're watching from. We're a couple of minutes away officially from kick-off, but they're not even on the pitch again. Every pre-season game's like this. It's not like a Premier League game where it's guaranteed to be a 3 o'clock kickoff if it says 3 o'clock. The pre-season games normally about 5 minutes later than that as well. So we're 2 minutes away from midday UK time, which is meant to be kickoff, but I think it will probably be a little bit later. With regards to the game, I'm going to say United to win this 3 or 4-0 because, in my opinion, there's a big difference between where we are as a team and where Inter Milan are as a team with regards to fitness. We've seen this time and time again on so many tours where Real Madrid players or whatever, and we beat them because our pre-season starts earlier than it's Italy and Spain because their season doesn't start till like mid to late August. So, and when you are 1 or 2 weeks ahead of a team with intense training, pre-season is intense, it shows on the pitch. So I think United will be quicker, faster and better on the ball than Inter Milan. It's a perfect game for Ollie, really, and I think we'll win it 3-4-0. I don't see many goals in the Inter Milan sides, and I think we'll win comfortably. On top of that, the Italian league's not as good as the Premier League anyway. It's a lot slower, and as a lot of you do, I watch a lot of Italian football, and they'll be a lot slower than us as well. Lingard's got to up his game this season, says Daniel Hogan. Well, it's all eyes on Lingard, isn't it? Very interesting interview with James Cooper. I know Paul was speaking about the one with Simon Peach from the Press Association. James Cooper from Sky. He was sort of and James Cooper's been covering Manchester United for years and years, not just with Sky. He was formerly at MUTV, so he's got good connections there. He's very good connection with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then he said something else there. And he was saying that with regards to Lingard, there was a lot of unhappiness from Manchester United towards Jesse Lingard's behaviour over the summer. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's been given a final warning, but he's certainly been given advice as to how he should be conducting himself. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's a big season for Jesse Lingard. He hasn't responded yet in pre-season, but to be honest with you, it's about what he does in the real season, and he's got to have a big season, definitely. Lingard's been given a testimony. Also, are we playing a 4-2-3-1? I've gone with a 4-2-3-1 on screen. That's from Genwell. That's from Genwil Balandres. But you know what? It could be Matic sitting. I mean, to be honest with you, Lingard, at least he's not playing out on the right-hand side or in the front attacking three, because I just don't think Lingard suits that position at all. So at least he's playing in the midfield. I don't think he's that good there either, but at least he is playing there. Lingard's a future captain, says Raj Mongol. And has the game started, says Chizzy Maestro. No, they're in the tunnel at the moment. They're just about to come out. So yeah, I'm going to go 3 or 4-0 to Manchester United. Some people are saying that's absolutely optimistic. But I think Nemanja Matic is captain. For God's sake. That is a joke. Absolute joke. Matic, captain. Jesus wept. I'm going to have to even tweet that. That is a joke, isn't it? Nemanja Matic, captain of Manchester United. He shouldn't even be here. We lurch from one bad decision to another, don't we? And Nemanja Matic, I mean, it's only my opinion. You lot might be happy with it, but I'm not going to stay quiet. We had Ashley Young last season, and now we've got Nemanja Matic, bought 2 years ago as a declining donkey, and he's getting slower. What's that all about? And he betrays no captain's traits at all, does he? He doesn't run around on the pitch. Well, he doesn't run around on the pitch. He doesn't conduct himself in a captain's way, does he? He doesn't act like a leader. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's just forget about that. Let's move on from that. Nemanja Matic, Manchester United captain. What a joke. But there you go. It's only a pre-season friendly. Let's cry about it when it's Anfield. De Gea should be captain as well, yeah. I don't understand why you wouldn't give it to De Gea. Lindelof, De Gea. Like, Lindelof's been... You know, the interesting thing is, Lindelof was... When did we sign Lindelof? Lindelof was here... Has been here the same amount of time as Matic. Why would you not give it to Lindelof? Give it to bloody Rashford. Give it to Lingard, yeah. Give it to anybody. Yeah. Anyway, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is the sort of chat we have on this channel. We say it how it is. And you say it how it is. And we have call-ins on a Monday night. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We got fan cams from there and every other game. We got watch-alongs for every game. We got Transfer Daily. We react to any big breaking news. If you want your United chat real and covered, then this is the place to be. If you're new, you're going to love it anyway. And please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And make sure you smash a like on the video as well. I think we've got 1.1 thousand likes. When I say smash a like on it, that's going to go above 1,500 likes in like the next 10 seconds. So smash a like on the video. And also, bottom right-hand corner, make sure you subscribe if you are new. Let's see if we can get up to 506,000 today. Matic captain makes me sick, says Nathan Poole. I don't know. What a prat, says Matthew Lanny. Exactly. I think we will get Maguire and Fernandes, but we won't get a right winger, says Tanvir123. 100%. I don't think we will. Come on, United, says the newbie. Get your score predictions in then, because I've gone... A lot of people are saying you're mad. Going with that. Saeed Salah says, what the Ollie, why Matic? Anyone else is better. I'd agree with you on that one. Kickoff is imminent. So yes, we will. We've got a timer, and that will kick in for you as well. But it is absolutely imminent. They're a little bit late, but I think they've been about 5 minutes late for every game so far. So don't worry about it. That's standard. So yeah, I'm going to go 3 or 4-0 to Manchester United. It's no poor reflection on Inter Milan. I don't mind Inter Milan. I just think that their fitness levels are going to cause them a problem today. We've seen. Well, let's not forget this. Somebody just said 3-0. A lot of people are going 2-0, 3-0, 4-1, 3-2. Matthew Keane. Inter Milan haven't really got goals in them. That's the problem. That's why they need Lukaku. 4-1 to United, says Jacob. 2-0. 3-1, 4-0. Glazers out. Craig Knowles says. They're exchanging team flags now. Nobody's been brave enough to go with an Inter Milan win. But there's been 1 or 2, but the vast majority are going United. We've got 2-1 Inter there from Alan Tenno. You know what I'm going to say now? I really hope Inter Milan are brilliant tonight. I really hope that Inter Milan are brilliant. Absolutely superb. And I hope they give us a really hard game, because that would actually be a better result for United. If we were exposed today, it would be a better result for us, because we all, and I say that obviously as a United fan, but I say it because if we were to get exposed today, it shows the problems that we know we've got. If we paper the cracks today, we all know that team won't get top 4. Well, we might scrape 4th, but we're not going to have a good season. We know we need to sign 2 or 3 players, and if we got beat today, or we have a struggle today, it shows that up. But I just can't see it. I think we're going to win comfortable. And the kickoff has been made. I have £17 on United to win 3-1, says Wolfie 335p. Kickoff is off, and Inter Milan have the ball. Skriniar there. Oh, you know what I love about Skriniar? He'd be perfect for United, and he plays left-sided centre-back. He'd be I remember I was talking about Skriniar 2 years ago. Brilliant player. Absolutely brilliant player. And everyone knows who he is now. But he's a brilliant player and left-sided centre-back, dominant in the air. I think he's only 24 or 25. He'd be absolutely perfect for United. Absolutely superb player. But United are just passing it about at the moment, and it does look a little bit more like a 4-2... A 4-2-3-1, yeah. Conte, new Inter Milan manager. Very good advert for getting a wig, is old Conte, to be fair. He looks good for it. So, Daniel James playing, Wan-Bissaka playing, all good. Inter Milan have got a player playing up front called Esposito, who's wearing number 70. Does anyone know anything about Esposito? Inter are the best, says Charlie Boyd. Well, let's see. Here's Skriniar again, bringing the ball out from the back. Very two-footed Skriniar. Lovely ball there. Played it through to the striker who couldn't hold it up. I think it was Esposito. The new Clayton 2009 says, Lukaku to Inter or stay. Oh, definitely get rid of him. Martial's playing down the middle at the moment. Rashford's just gone to the left. But United on the break, very fast. Good run by Rashford. Good tackle by Inter. United already looking a lot quicker than Inter Milan, which is what I said would happen. And I definitely think there's more United fans at this game than there is Inter Milan fans. The stadium is pretty red from what we can see. I just hope we get a good game. Matic wins the ball back there. I just hope we get a good game. That's what I want to see. Esposito is 17, says Great Banter. There you go. Esposito, that's how we do it down in Puerto Rico. La 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 la. Here's Daniel James. Whip it in. Get it in. Gives it to Wan-Bissaka. I think he should have whipped it in there. This is a bit of overplaying down the right-hand side there. See, they're already getting their natural flair taken out of them. Don't whip a cross in. Take 50 touches. And it ends up going for a bloody goal kick. We had 2 opportunities to put a cross in there from the 2 new players. Daniel James, there's like so much space to whip a cross in. Gives it to Wan-Bissaka. So much space to whip a cross in. Gives it back to Daniel James. Gives it to Wan-Bissaka. Goes out for a fucking goal kick. Whip the bloody cross in. I know they're young lads, but, you know, that's not good. They shouldn't be refusing opportunities like that. I don't know why they were refusing it. Put the cross in. But United are starting to get control of this game, which you would expect. The fitness levels, as I said, are going to be big. Would you swap Pogba for Neymar, says Zayn Mayasai? That's a good question. For me, it's a no. I don't really like Neymar. I don't know what Rashford's just done there. He's tried to shoot from the touchline with one of his banter free kick efforts. But stop doing that, Marcus, and start putting away one-on-ones. That's what we want to see. How many hours to the start, says Sharif. Someone tell him. Someone tell him what's going on. We need Fernandez, says the new Clayton 2009. And what do you think about the new kit, says Umar Londe. I do like it. I do like it, yeah. A lot of people just going, no way. And I was wondering what we're on about. We're on about Neymar for Pogba. Yeah, no, look, Neymar's a good player, but I just don't like Neymar. Pogba's better for us. Matic giving the foul away there. Good start to the game, though, and very similar to the start against Leeds. You know, United definitely using tempo in the game, which is good to see. I just don't think... I think, like Leeds, I think Inter Milan are going to struggle to have any impetus. Hope James can get a goal today, says Levi Pegler. There's a ball here to the left. Let's see what Wan-Bissaka's all about. This is he's up against somebody, and he does well. Gets the tackle in. That's what Wan-Bissaka's all about. Very, very good at putting that tackle in. So it's a throw in to Inter Milan. I despise Matic, says Red Jedi, and De Gea's got it. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're getting close to 506,000. My man Luke Shaw's back at left back. It's a good team. You know what? This is a good Manchester United team today. I just think it also shows that we do need a centre back, and we do need Bruno Fernandes. And if we can add those 2 players, all right. It's not a brilliant transfer window, but it's better than it is at the moment. Lindelof with the interception. Some tasty little challenges going in, which is what you want to see. No one is getting past Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says Matt Thorpe. You know what? He does give off that sort of aura that, you know, he's very hard to beat. And everybody knew that anyway from his days at Palace, no matter who he was playing against. So, Mark, bit off topic, but can you look at the Blackburn Rovers away kit? What do you think? It's certainly different, says Adam Morris. There's a nice little ball in for Inter Milan here down the channel. I don't think it's going to lead to a goal, but it's an overhit cross. I actually had a Blackburn Rovers kit when I was about 15 that I really liked, because when I was at school, we were big into kits, and like, you know, in art all we used to do is just design kits. And I had it was my mate's Blackburn Rovers kit, and we were playing one day and I said, can I borrow your top? And I never gave it back. And it was I think it was the year they won the title actually. It was a black kit with red stripes down it and a red collar. It was a really nice kit, but I haven't seen this new one. But a decent start to this game so far. I must admit, I'm enjoying it. And please say hi to me, says Ghost Sinclair 190. Hello. Say my name, Mark, says Lee Dempsey. And Desperado Esposito sounds great, says Leslie Lee. Is that his first name, or am I just falling for it? Do I think Daniel James will start against Chelsea, says Jeremy Tyson. To be honest with you, he shouldn't be starting against Chelsea, because he should be a player for 15 million from the Championship who works his way into the team. You know, when you play FIFA or when you play Football Manager and you buy an up-and-coming player, do you chuck them straight in, or do you like give them games off the bench and then they gradually do better and better and then they become a first-team player? That's what I do. And that's what I think needs to happen with Daniel James. I think chucking him in straight away... I mean, we didn't even do that with Ronaldo. Wan-Bissaka there... He's done quite well. Again, let's get the cross into the box. Matic. Crab to the left. Hit it, Luke. Good block. That'll be a corner. Where's Phil Jones when you need him? Well, who's going to take the corners? Interesting, because we haven't got Andreas Pereira today, have we? So who takes corners? Because Rashford, thank God, isn't going to take it. Lindelof is a good centre-back, you know. I would rate him as high as Maguire, says Sebastian Anderson. I wouldn't rate him as high as Maguire, but I think if he has a good season this year, he would be moving into that sort of echelon, yes. George Kyle says that Daniel James is a first-team player already for me. So who's on corners? Anthony Martial. And it's too high and too hard, and it'll go out for a throw-in on the other side of the pitch. You had a Blackburn shirt. That's shocking. I tell you what, the worst shirt I ever had that I liked was the Germany kit from... It was the green away Germany kit from '94. I really liked it, so I bought it. There's a lot of people who just buy kits because they like them. I don't now. I mean, it was only when I was a kid. Inter Milan not moving the ball around nicely. And there's a nasty foul by Brozovic there. And the referee's giving it on Daniel James. He's not happy. It was tasty. He's not going to give a yellow card though. Ed Woodward says, does Daniel James look out of place on the right? It was quite a nasty tackle by Brozovic. Patik says Mark secretly has a Liverpool kit. I definitely would never have a Liverpool kit, even if I liked it. I'd never buy a Liverpool kit. There are levels, there are standards to be maintained, and I would never wear a Liverpool kit. I don't think I'd even wear a Liverpool kit for charity, and I know Gary Neville's done it, but I just don't think I would. CW Prodigy makes a good point. Right now, Daniel James is a first teamer because we've got no one else, and that's the point, isn't it? I think you should be bedding Daniel James in, giving him time, not in putting too much pressure on him. But we've got no other options, have we? So you're right. You're absolutely right. Here's Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side again. Another good tackle, but it does find its way in for a corner too. Or is it a throw-in? It looks like it's a throw-in. Despacito, that's how he does it down in Puerto Rico. La 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 Nico. Do 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 do. Pasito, pasito, potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Right, come on, United. Skriniar's so good. He's so good. I'd love United to sign Skriniar. I'm going to even tweet it, and I want thousands of retweets for this because he's so good. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. Lingard is crap, says Adam Wynn. He's not really been in the game that much so far. He's just so weak as a midfielder, isn't he? I mean, Lingard, like Paul was saying, is an impact player. He's a player you want to see running off, and Lingard picking the ball up on the edge of the box is brilliant. The veteran trainer 88 says, even for charity, I couldn't wear a Liverpool kit, or a Chelsea kit, or a City kit. Inter Milan are having a little bit more of the ball at the moment. They've kept it quite well, and United have struggled to hit on the break, although that's a bad ball. Now we should hit on the break. This is where we want to see United. Rashford at speed, hitting towards the box. He's overplayed that a little bit, and they'll get rid of it. Joe Stringer says, our fitness levels and sharpness are very good this tour. Dan James will start against Chelsea. If he continues to impress and develop, price doesn't always determine the ability potential of a player. No, Joe, I totally agree with you, but what I'm saying is, how good do you think it is that a player that was playing in the Championship last season for Swansea is thrown in as our starting winger for Manchester United? I think it's a little bit presumptuous, to be honest with you. But I like the kid. I just would like us to see. I would like to see a little bit of less pressure put on him. But I think it's the nature of the team. I've just been bigging up Skriniar and he's just played a crap pass there. So United come on the break again. Matic plays a crap pass. It'd be interesting to see how well Twansebi does in this game as well. Here we look. Matic, look. CDM. Slower than a pensioner. Slower than a paralysed pensioner, I should have said. Lakeshore down. United are very last season at the moment so far, and I know it's only 15 minutes it's gone. Very pedestrian in our play so far, side to side, because Inter Milan are organising themselves well. KBMO says that Martial's looking very lethargic. I think United have looked a little bit lethargic, but we're coming into the box here. Good cross. Inter Milan clear it. I think that was a Daniel James cross. Luke Shaw hit it. Oh, I thought he'd found bottom corner. Good hit from the edge of the box by Luke Shaw. Handanovic certainly dived for it, and it'd be interesting to see the replay to see how close it was, because he certainly dived for it. That's not going to be the angle that helps. I don't think it's far away. Probably about a metre. Crap angle. Didn't show as a good one. Why United so slow, says Max226. I think a lot of it's because of the way Conte's got Inter Milan set up. Quite similar to Chelsea. When the opposition have got the ball, they all drop. So we need to suck them out, not off. Suck them in a bit and then hit them on the break. I think he's a fantastic player, Skriniar. It's too early for the gin, Rio Mia. Too early for the gin. It's only just coming up for 1 o'clock UK time. I don't drink at lunchtime unless it's holiday or Christmas. Oh, come on, United. Wake me up before you go. Good interception there by Lindelof. Right. Martial. Into Pogba. Harold Holst Versvold says, I love fast attacking creative football rather than defensive, cynical, destructive football, which I hate. So yes to Neymar, and yes, I would keep Pogba. And Levi Pegler says that says that found the channel recently and loving every video. Thanks for all the great content and hard work you put in. Thanks, Levi, and make sure you subscribe if you're new, like Levi, because there was loads of content on here. I think the vlogs that Flex has been doing is fantastic. The vlog he's going to put up tonight will be really good because he's got pitch side access, so you'll get really close stuff to the players again. And also, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, got transfer stuff, everything. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're only 100 away from 506,000 subscribers, so please do subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, please hit the share button and share the link on Twitter and Facebook. That's how we grow. Leslie Lee says Luke Shaw is so bottom heavy. Look, I think there is a fascination with Luke Shaw's body and people call him fat. I just think you need to understand about bodies. Like, you know, some people do carry a heavy body, but he's very fast, Luke Shaw. Very fit, very fast. His size is not an issue. But I think people make it an issue. He's one of the fastest players in United's side. So... And there isn't weight to lose. Like that's his body mass. That's his body shape. But a good. I tell you what I'm enjoying about this game, and I said it before. You want United to be tested. Leeds. It was a Leeds 11. Perth Glory. Come on. So today is the first game against a half decent side. So, and we are. You know, it's a very equal game so far. Seems like new signings depend on Lukaku out, says Andrew Debas. You can see why Inter Milan would like Lukaku, though. They've got sod all up front. Their midfield's good, their defence is good, but remember Barella, they've just bought Barella, Nicolas Barella. He's on the bench for Inter Milan, as is Perisic, so we'll probably see them second half. Decent cross in there, and Lindelof has to put it behind for a corner. Rashford needs a reality check, like seriously, this guy thinks he is Cristiano Ronaldo. He and Lingard is so overrated. Jesus. Sorry, I didn't even read the person who said that. That was from Amir Hussain. I read the comment, then I didn't read that you'd said it. So coming up for 20 minutes into the game, and thus far it's been a little bit equal. It's not been the game I thought it was going to be, but welcome to Captai Callum, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can become a member by joining, clicking the join button. You get a little badge next to your name. If you can see the people with badges next to the name, they're members of the United Stand Members Club. You also get to use our emojis, exclusive emojis that we've got. Pink boots, lube. There's some good, Ollie at the wheel. There's some good emojis. If you've got any members, put some of the emojis up exclusively. Rashford is not a striker, says Paul Jassel. Well, Martial's playing more central. Daniel James has gone out to the left at the moment. There's a lot of interchangeability between the front three. Martial's just won a free kick there. I don't think, you know what, as much as people want to have a go at Lingard, and I think he's been very, very quiet, it's a free kick to Inter Milan, which is ridiculous. I don't think Martial's had a very good tour so far. I mean, I know Ollie's spoken about, we're going to see a new Martial. I don't think we've seen a very good Martial. Thanks to Ben Dargy for putting up the exclusive emojis. So there's Goldbridge, there's Lindelof, Iceman, Pink Boots, Lube, Goal, Flip-Flops, Timberland Boots, McMayo, Jurassic Park, Jelly Babies. Beans, we've got the Beans emoji as well, yeah. Inter Milan are in here, into the box, and that'll be a goal kick. Lindelof does well, shepherding it out. No more transfers for United, says Dion 5. I think there will be. I just think that, as we were saying before the game, what are United doing with transfers? We're playing hardball with Maguire. We're playing hardball with Sporting Lisbon and Fernandes. Our transfer window runs out. You can't play hardball when the club know you've got to buy those players or not buy those players, which is even worse. Just pay the price. Pay the price is what I would say. Mad19 Mitch says, what's Conte's game with... Twan Sabi's just been put on his arse there. Well, he hasn't been put on his arse. He's just done a foul. He got skinned quite easily and it was a foul. Welcome to Capital Callum and welcome to Caleb Melwani, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Icardi, they want to sell him into Milan, so they're not using him. They want to sell him, but will somebody buy him? Very good player, Icardi. Very good player. And I personally think, why would you not play him in this game? Because you're putting him in the shop window, but they don't want him. Twan Sebi's a good player. David's saying he's crap. Twan Sebi's a good player, but he's just not... United need a proper centre-back. Somebody who's dominant in the air and a experienced leader-type centre-back. We've got lots of centre-backs. We need a very particular centre-back. Inter Milan, well up. I think Twan Sebi won that header, actually, to be fair. Oh, it's a corner. That's a goal. He's given a goal kick. This ref's crap. He's absolutely shit. Even I can see that from England, that Martial booted that out. This ref's crap. He's already given a couple of decisions against us, so it's a goal kick. It should have been a corner, but Martial got fouled 2 minutes in and he gave into one. He's just one of them. You know when you're playing like pub football and your mate does the referee and he doesn't really want to do it and he just guesses. That's what this ref's like. He's absolutely shite. Oh, my back's hurting again. Bit of a stretch. Grind it. I'd say Inter Milan are probably the better team so far, yeah. Timo makes a good point. So much pace, yet so little being used. I'm going to tweet that because I think it's a good tweet. Shot straight at the keeper there and he didn't even spill it. And it was Anthony Martial who got that away. Edge of the box. Good hit, but keeper's got it all the way. Yes, man. Yes, I mean, look. If you look at the second half against Leeds, we didn't really hit them on the break as much. Who was on the pitch in the second half against Leeds? Nemanja Matic. Who's on the pitch today with the bloody captain's armband? Nemanja Matic. He's just a slow player and he slows us down as a team. We haven't moved the ball quick enough from back to front at all. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think Matic is such a bad player. But it worries me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has given him the captaincy because that's like, yeah, you're an important player for me. You know, he's so slow. He's so slow. Lingard's just won as a throw in there. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Go into the space, mate. Oh, terrible touch by Lingard. Win it back then. You lose the bloody ball and then you're walking. They're passing around the back here, United. Where's the press? Jesus Christ, that's lazy. Look at Lingard there, still walking back. You're a midfielder, man. You're a midfielder. He's not even back in the picture yet. Where is he? He's not back in the picture and he's one of the midfield three. And he lost the ball. Daniel James comes back into the picture. Where the bloody hell's Lingard? That's just lazy, man. That is lazy. I don't know what's wrong with the kid. He looks knackered. Right, here he is. Come on, use that space. Pogba central. Pogba central. Here we go. We've got a bit of a break here. Pogba. Shoot. That's good. A bit better from United there. Luke Shaw. Rashford. Get up. This midfield is lazy and slow, says Chad. Well, it's the same old story with United, isn't it? Pogba's having to do all the work because he's got Lingard and Matic with him. I mean, no wonder he wants to go. The quality in our midfield is the problem. You've got all that pace up front and we're not using it. There's a free kick. And a yellow card. It was Lingard who earned the free kick. And Brozovic gets a yellow card. That's been coming, really. Good position for a free kick here. Finally, Lingard actually doing something. I think to be honest, Lingard had overplayed that anyway, so I don't think he was going to get that touch. Celtic fan Mark, you do great work, keep it up, says Captal Cullen. And Maguire for Twansibi, McTominay for Matic, Fernandes for Lingard, Greenwood for James, says Jamie Wantwich. I'd agree with you on that, mate. Brozovic is really dirty, K-Tasha. He's the sort of player we could do without in our team, actually. Why can't we have Brozovic as part of the Lukaku deal, actually? I'm joking. But no, he has got a bit of tenacity about him, which I think this team misses. Oh, it's Rashford on free kicks, everyone. This is not a good thing. Even if he scores it, it means he's going to be taking free kicks all season. I fancy him to score this. Because what Rashford has done so far in pre-season is get shots on target. It's the wall. At least it wasn't over the bar. Oh, I think Pogba should have took that free kick, to be honest with you. Like Pogba's got a really good. Remember Pogba's first season when he took a few free kicks and he hit the post and that. I think Pogba's got the best technique. I don't know why Rashford takes him. Let me see Rashford shooting from 40 yards to get there against Handanovic, who's a fantastic goalkeeper. Mata was captain last game, so don't think we should worry, says by Jamzud. I hope so. I hope there's nothing to worry about. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And yeah, you're very welcome if you are new. And please share the video if you're not. It's 0-0 at the moment. Bit of a lacklustre heart. I mean, Inter Milan have been toothless because they haven't got a striker. That's why they want Lukaku. But other than that, it's been quite equal. United carrying more of the threat without really creating anything. But we've got the better front line. Inter Milan are just pants up front, which is why they need a striker, and they're not using Icardi either. Or Nainggolan. They don't play him. But they have got Barella and Perisic on the bench, Inter Milan. They've got some good players on their bench, so... Oh, that's weak by Daniel James. And it's a free kick to Inter Milan. Skriniar just using his body to get past Daniel James, and then Daniel James accidentally fouling him. Icardi and Brozovic for Lukaku solves a lot, says John Massey. Yeah, but we'd never do anything like that, would we? We'd never do anything as decisive and clinical as that. Whilst Jay's having an argument with himself because he says Mata was captain last game, not Matic. I don't think anybody said Matic was captain last game. Somebody said Mata was captain last game. Matic is captain this game. One word Passford says too easy, too easy. He doesn't. Yeah, he's not been passing a lot, Rashford, but maybe he's been told to be a little bit more selfish. I think United's fitness is starting to cut back. Oh, how did he miss? Lovely run down the left-hand side by Luke Shaw. Cuts it back across the box, and it finds its way past everybody when it was there for Rashford to tap in. I'd like to see that again. Lovely play. Do you know any banks that need a new manager? Says Sean Byrne. I don't. I don't. That was better from United, though. we going to see that chance again? I mean, we are in the hands of whoever's filming this game, and sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. So here it goes. Luke Shaw. Oh, I think it's unlucky. It's unlucky. The keeper actually gets his hand and takes it away from Rashford. So it's not a miss by Rashford by any means. Oh, no, it is. Actually, when they play it on slow play, it is. He should be adjusting his feet a little bit better there. So having a drinks break now. Luke Shaw, look at him. Lovely specimen. Having a sip of water. Should have been 1-0 to United. Carrick's having a word with Pogba. Half an hour in, drinks break. Lingard has ruined Rashford. Beans, says Wade Philander. We're in serious trouble next season, says Marky. They're having a break, yes, Justin. They're having a water break. It's obviously very hot there. And let's hammer them. Well, I don't think we're going to hammer them, Jason. I actually thought we would. I thought our fitness levels would cause them a problem. But they haven't done so far. Carl Francis says, I don't like Lingard, me. He's been very poor, Lingard, again. Very poor. Hopefully he will find some form. Lingard needs to be shown the door, says Gaz Elliott. But the Manchester United Football Club are obsessed with Lingard, though. He's on every promotional picture. If he wasn't so good at social media, you wonder whether he'd actually have a career. Kyle McGringleberry has signed his divorce papers yesterday. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Kyle? Best of luck with it either way. I hate Static, says my Secretario. Mark, what about Adama from Wolves for the right wing, says Joseph Lever? No, we won't go for him. He's massively inconsistent. We're screwed, says Damien Day. Do you think Lindelof is in the top 5 centre-backs in the Premier League? He's not far off. I think he does need to have another good season to get that, because you're always going to get the one season wonder. But I do rate Lindelof, and I think there's a reason teams like Barcelona are looking at him. I think he was well scouted and he's a good player. It's interesting because Rashford has played off the left a lot in this game, and Martial's played down the middle. Inter Milan have looked a lot tidier on the ball than us, to be fair. I'm worried about goals. If we don't have a 2-footed striker who can head, I think we're in trouble. Plus, is Fred in the squad, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. I haven't actually looked at what the bench is, but United are in with a chance here. It's a quick break, and this is when United do well on a quick break. But it's going to go out for a corner. Rashford there, and Rashford's going to take the corner. Great news. Dan James reminds me of a young Michael Owen, says Alec Martin. What, in the way he looks or the way he plays? Asa West says, can Matic please get off the pitch? Every time he touches it, the play almost stops. And we're going to do a short corner here with Lingard and Rashford. What a waste of time that was. What an absolute waste of time that was. Refuse whipping a ball in the box to play 3 passes and end up... Yeah, we still got the ball, but it's just... Just put the ball in the bloody box. See, Pogba trying to do tricks there, and he's won himself a free kick, I think. Whip the cross in this time. Is Lukaku sat cheering for United or Inter, says the initial topic. Good, fair point. And Isaac Ulrich says Alexis Sanchez should do the right thing and donate a chunk of his pay to Aaron. What a signing. And the way he plays, Mark, says Alec Martin. Right, Luke Shaw's on this one. Left footer, whips it in. It's going to have to be a very good ball to score a headed goal against Inter Milan, because they are... Italian defences are very good at defending set pieces. Inter Milan happy to just pass the ball out from the back. But here's Martial. Lingard. This is where Lingard should shoot. Plays it into Daniel James. Good cross, but there's no striker anticipating that. Lingard puts it out to Daniel James. It's a good cross, but there's just nobody in that area. So it's a bad cross, really. Yeah, it's nowhere near. It's a bad cross, really. It's a dangerous area cross, but there's nobody there, and he's got to be looking at that. Why is Matic captain? Worrying signs, says Eamon McAllister. And, oh, here we go. Shoot, mate. Daniel James. Wide. Oh, he's got to put that away. Lindelof driving forward from the back there. Slips Daniel James in. Shoots wide. Wide. It was a good chance. You've got to hit the target from there. You've got to put that in. Oh, well, I'm not saying he's got to put it in, but he's got to hit it on target. All right, Inter Milan on the attack. I mean, the interesting thing is, Inter Milan, I don't think they've got the memo because they've continually attacked down the right-hand side, which is Wan-Bissaka. And United are strong down that side now. I think they still think that Ashley Young plays for us. Ooh, nearly a goal there. De Gea came for it, and on the back post, he headed wide. Poor goalkeeping that by De Gea. He totally misjudges the cross on the back post, and he just heads it wide. It was a good chance for Inter Milan. He should score. I think he should score that. He should score that. Peninsula Floating Floor says, hi Mark, have you seen Wan-Bissaka hands up in space playing right wing and totally ignored? Players should be smiling and expressing themselves. WTF. Yeah, I don't know. United have been a bit... They've looked a bit... It's looked a bit of a stressed performance from United so far. The Inter Milan have made a lot of mistakes, and I think, United with their fitness levels... Here we go. Cut back. Oh. Inter Milan have just really passed out from the back a lot and been very confident, but United should be clear in this game, really. We've got the better players, got the better fitness levels. Goal kick. 5 minutes to half time. Timmy H says, what's your opinion on Alexis Sanchez getting a chance up front? Well, what does everybody else think? I mean, I think he will be given a chance because we can't get rid of him. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could get rid of him, he definitely would. So I think he will definitely get given a chance, yeah. But for me, I wouldn't give him a chance. I'd like to get rid of him. And Inter Milan are in down that right-hand side again. They are trying to... Well, I don't think they're trying to exploit Wan-Bissaka. It's another corner. I don't think they're trying to exploit Wan-Bissaka, but I think that they do go down that side a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. But Wan-Bissaka is like... I've just tweeted Joe Stringer, actually. No, I'm not tweeting. He's like titanium. Nothing gets past Wan-Bissaka. He's very, very good. Nobody beats him. Anyway, it's a corner here for Inter Milan. Cross comes in. Ooh. I thought someone was going to get their head on that. Now it's Matic running down the left-hand side. You're not deceiving yourself. He's stopped. Give it to Lingard. Lingard, don't give it him back. Keep going forward. That's it. Get away from Matic. Martial. Into Lingard. Into Martial. Oh, that would have been a good goal. That was really good play between Martial and Lingard. Just couldn't get out his feet. Why is it what United need obvious to his fans but not the board? You add Bruno and Maguire to this team and will massively improve. Please get the deals done, says Alex Martin. This was good between... I mean, it's a 1-2, but it was good play between Martial and Lingard. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka is such a weapon, says Creed of Toms. And I think he means it in a good way, and he's right. But Lingard's taking the corner now. So we've had 3 different corner takers. And Twansibi heads it, or was it Pogba? Heads it over. I think it was Pogba actually. Lukaku sat on the bench. Looks like he's going to have a sleep. It looks like we do have a striker, says Moses. And Wan-Bissaka man of the match, says Shivy the gamer. I think he's had the most to do. He's been, 1v1 quite a lot, and every time he's made the tackle. Skriniar and Daniel James going in a 50-50 there. There's only going to be one winner. He's double the size. Gaza West likes Wan-Bissaka. He's got a great attitude. He's been fantastic. He's been absolutely fantastic in that half. Easily man of the match. It's just, I think my thoughts on this half is that we've just been too slow in moving the ball. Sorry there, I couldn't see my typing. So, about 3 minutes to half time. Wan-Bissaka comfortably my man of the match so far. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams from the ground with Flex. We've got a daily vlog that he's doing out there on the tour. We will be going to Shanghai next as well. So I thought the Perth part of the tour was brilliant. You really felt like you were there. Same with Singapore, and we're going to get to see Shanghai. They're flying out tomorrow as well. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, to get involved. We've got call-ins on a Monday night at 8 o'clock. Every morning at 7 a.m. transfer daily. Inter Milan are down Luke Shaw's side this time. Cross comes in. Wan-Bissaka doesn't win it. Oh, tell you what, offside. Don't worry about that. Inter Milan have. It's a very fit. You know what? I don't know what people think. I think it's been a very equal half. Patrick St. Pierre says we're not moving the ball fast enough. We need to switch play faster. Wan-Bissaka has tried to make runs off the opposite side, but we miss the movement. It's static Matic. That's what it is. We speak about it like, I keep saying this. You talk about this sort of stuff like you're being negative, but the reality is that we talk about Matic static because he is static and he is slow, and United have been slow, and that has caused United problems in moving the ball from back to front quickly. But here's Pogba move. You see, when we run at teams, we cause problems for teams. Lingard, Rashford, keeper's ball. Right, Inter Milan have got a few players here now. That's all right, keepers. So an equal half is what I would say. Levi Pegler says we need to get a striker that's good in the air. Harry Kane feels like our crosses only have a chance of going in if we put them in low. And Anaman Batajasi says I hope to see Matic and Rashford and Lingard be substituted by Pereira, Chong and Greenwood second half. This half is bad. I think Lingard does need to come off, and I think Matic needs to come off as well. Whether he does that or not remains to be seen. You know what though, I'm going to be honest, I'm actually quite happy with that half because it exposes the issues that United have got. And if we'd won this game, if we were winning at half time 3 or 4-0, you'd get the the Cheerio sheep going, hey, it's great, we're fine, that team's absolutely fine. And it's not fine. It's got some good players in it, but it's not good enough. And I think we've seen that in the first half. It isn't good enough. And I think we'll see it again next Thursday against Spurs as well, because the Spurs game will be really good because their fitness levels will be the same as ours. And I think Spurs are a better side than us. So these games are perfect for United. It exposes what we are as a team. We're a work in progress that needs investment, and so I'm happy with that half because it's really shown up that there are problems with his team. I think Wan-Bissaka's been brilliant. I think Rashford, James and Martial haven't had enough quick ball. I think Pogba is drowning with Matic and Lingard around him because they're not good enough. Lindelof looks good. Luke Shaw looks good. Twansebi, is he ready for this yet? I don't know. Lovely ball. Handanovic really quick off his line. Again, it's Pogba with a bit of space there, trying to feed Rashford in one-on-one. And Handanovic is a very good goalkeeper. Very, very good goalkeeper. He's quick, he's tall. I felt like I should have done something else there. Handanovic, very good goalkeeper. He's quick, he's tall, he'll chuck you on a wall. I shouldn't have said anything. Wan-Bissaka's been very good, says Tara Collins. Yeah, that's what you want a sweeper keeper to do there, Handanovic. Very, very quick off his line. James is no end product. Prefer Greenwood, says Skaneface. I think with Daniel James, as we were having this debate in the first 10 minutes when everyone was living up his arse, like, I don't expect him to start games. He's a work in progress. He comes into the club. If he works, what a buy he will be. If he doesn't work, we've only spent 15 million on him. But I don't think he should be a first teamer. I think he's got to work his way in. That's how I feel. Petito 100 says, Arsenal fan, if you guys start your season with Rashford up front, you guys are in trouble. You guys need a striker just as badly as a centre-back. Well, I think we might have a striker. Lukaku does score you 25 goals a season, and I don't think Inter Milan will buy him. Welcome to Shvi Mello, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. There's a free kick here late on. I don't know what the referee is. The referee's been pretty bad, actually. And I think he's one of those referees who thinks because we had a water break, you just continue for 90 minutes. Because there's no way been 3 added minutes on, and he's played 48 minutes in a pre-season friendly. Thanks for the contribution, Mark Daly. But it's an opportunity for United to put a cross in. I've got no idea how long he's carrying on playing. Best player so far, says Methan Edlin. Get in the live comments if you've been watching the game. Who's your favourite player so far? For me, obviously I'm going to look at it from a Manchester United point of view, but for me it would be Wan-Bissaka. But this is a joke. It's the right side corner area, and Luke Shaw is having to come over to take it as a left back. He couldn't be further away from his natural position, and we've got Luke Shaw taking crosses on the other side of the pitch. It's not ideal. It's a poor cross as well. We ain't got the players to attack that. That's why you need Harry Maguire. You need Harry Maguire in a game like this. 100%. You need Harry Maguire in a game like this because we're chucking balls into the box and we just haven't got anybody to get on the end of it. Ashley Young there, literally nearly gluing himself to Solskjaer's arse, trying to get on the pitch. Get away, Ashley. Ain't good enough. But it is 0-0 at half time. Let me just turn the timer off for you. Stop, reset. 0-0. And I tell you what, I'm actually quite happy with that at half time because United were not good in that half. And it was quite an equal game. And Inter Milan haven't got the fitness levels that we've got, but we haven't exploited those fitness levels because we haven't moved the ball quick enough. So I'm quite happy with that because, as I said, if we win this game 3 or 4-0, a lot of people would be like, we don't need any signings. We don't need any signings. Just play Daniel James and Twansebi and Matic will be fine for another year and Lingard can play that role. And, what have we seen? Inter Milan, apart from Pogba, have dominated that midfield because Matic is too slow and Lingard's just not in the game. Up front, we're not moving the ball quick enough to them. We've not hurt Inter Milan quick enough by moving the ball quick enough. We're refusing opportunities to put crosses in the box because we know we haven't got anybody in the box who can get on the end of things. That midfield's just... it all comes down to the midfield, and this is for me why you've got to go out and get Bruno Fernandes and another. It's not just one midfielder. We need 2 midfielders. I don't think McTominay or Fred or Pereira change that midfield a hell of a lot more. It'd be better than Matic, but it's not a massive jump up. But that midfield is weak. It's a weak area. Inter Milan have got nothing up front. This is why they're not playing Icardi because they want to sell him, and they've not bought Lukaku yet. They've got nothing up front. They shouldn't even score today. They are toothless up front, but they have got a good defence. They have got a good midfield, and they're running that midfield because our midfield is irrelevant apart from Paul Pogba. And it's the story of last season again, whereby Pogba is the only outlet we've got. And Inter Milan are like, let's just swamp Pogba because Matic can't do anything and Lingard's not even in the game. The midfield is where it's at, and United's midfield is weak. And this is why many of you are saying we've got to sign some bloody midfielders. We've got to sign some midfielders. We're weak in the midfield. It doesn't matter. I've said this before. You could have a front three of Messi, Salah and Ronaldo. But that midfield, it wouldn't matter because the opposition are always getting themselves back into the defensive positions quick. It's easy for them and United are struggling. And that's where it's going wrong for me. Skriniar is a beast, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. Philip Burtonwood says, another day rumbles on and still no signings. Mark, it's getting on beyond a joke now. Feel so angry and fed up, so frustrating. I mean, look, a lot of people have said, I'm going to get Paul in a minute. A lot of people have said that, and Alex says, stop being so negative. I'm not being negative, mate. It's just an opinion. If you've got a positive one and you write it in there, we'll take it. But I'm not being negative. I'm trying to explain what the problem is with United in that first half. Remember, Inter Milan are a week behind us in their pre-season. They're not as fit as us. They've not played as many games as us. And we should be imposing ourselves on them more than we are. The reason we're not is because the midfield is not good enough. And that's what I'm saying. What would one or two signings do to that team? Well, if we had Harry Maguire in the team, every cross we've put into the box, we would actually have somebody who can go and win it. We don't have that at the moment. If you put a Bruno Fernandes in that team, you've got another midfielder like Pogba who wants the ball, who can cause problems to the opposition, which Lingard isn't doing. If you remove Matic and put Fred or Longstaff or whoever in there, you get a player who wants to move the ball quickly. So I think United have the makings of a good team, but they need to make these signings. Strutson says 95% of United fans in stands, even against a big club like Inter, wonder if other players take notice of the size of our club. 100% they would. It's a massive club. A massive, massive club. And Justice O says, if we don't get Bruno, it'll be the most baffling decision I've ever witnessed. He is clearly the fix for this team. How is it not obvious? Well, what you've got to remember there is, Justice O, and there are layers to this, of course, the layers being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Harry Maguire. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Sean Longstaff. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Bruno Fernandes. Jose Mourinho 2 years ago wanted Perisic. Jose Mourinho last year wanted Alexandro. It's not about, and as fans, we want these players as well. The problem is always the board and their failure to bring these players in. That's the situation that we have. And it's not a frustration we can have with the manager. It's a frustration with the club not providing the manager. And it wouldn't be the first time. Mourinho, for the last 2 years, didn't get the players that he wanted. And has Solskjaer got what he wanted so far? So I'm frustrated with transfers as well. Of course I am. But it's not necessarily... the manager will probably feel exactly the same as we do. Say hi to Robbie Hatch and Tamim, please. We're watching, says Man United Lounge Australia. Hi to Robbie, H and Tamim. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And Brandon Coombs says, positive. Good to see Ollie identify negative. Needed between the lines, playmaking 10. Centre midfielder and Maguire. Happy with Twansibi. Yeah. The funny thing is, and I said this before the game started, the funny thing is, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is worth every penny, says Dennis G, 2000. He's been fantastic, by the way. But the funny thing is, and welcome to Shots Fired, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I said this when the game started. I felt that team selection today was a cry for help from Ollie to expose what he needs. It's a good team, but Lingard, Matic and Twansebi are the weaknesses for different reasons. Matic is just crap, Twansibi's not ready, and Lingard just isn't the player to play in that position. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has sort of sent out a message there as to what the problem is with United that we need to sort out. So hopefully we've got Paul. Can you hear me, Paul? He'll be here. Talk when you're there, Paul.
All right, Mark.
I am, mate. How are you?
Yeah, sound. Cheers.
What give us your thoughts on that first half then?
Positives and negatives. Definitely positives. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's player of the pre-season. What a legend. Yeah. I think he's got 100% tackle rate. That's ridiculous. Twansibi, what I was looking for with him is composure on the ball and just looking comfortable. Perfect. I think Twansibi over Smalling, over Jones, over Bay. He'll probably get some balls for that, but he can. I think he can step up into the challenge. I really do. Daniel James, promise, but you can tell his fragility in terms of his experience. Rashford. Rashford still plays like he's playing in the under-16s, man. He needs to get a little bit more intelligence about his game and use people around him. He just seems to want to shoot, or score, do a flick. And I don't know if that's... Is he ready to lead the line, Mark?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I was thinking there. I mean, let me just read these 2 super chats because Ryan FTW's point sort of fits in with what we're talking about there. He says, breaking forward and pressing well. Seem lost at times in the final third, though. Lingard is quiet. Matic tries to go forward, but evident his legs are gone. And I think what Ryan's saying there in relation to the final third, I mean, a lot of people were saying Passford. Like, every time he gets the ball, he seems to shoot, like, whether he's 10 yards away or 50 yards away. But you know what? I think Martial's had a bad tour, and I like him as well. I don't think in those forward positions, and obviously Lukaku is trying to be sold. You can understand why some people are saying let's keep Lukaku. I don't want to keep Lukaku because he's a flat track bully, he doesn't score against the top 6, and he's got a bad first touch, and it's infuriating. But I can see why people are saying it. It's almost like, yeah, he is bad, but he might be a little bit better than the options that we've got.
Yeah, we want to get rid of Lukaku because he doesn't bring anyone else. Does Rashford bring anyone else into the game?
No.
Like, in terms of his link-up play, that's what he needs to work. I lost you.
You're back there, but George Broadway says Wan-Bissaka is a goat, Mark. Best right back I've seen, but Daniel James can't finish under pressure. I actually think if we get Harry Maguire, we will have one of the best defences in the league with Luke as well. I mean, let's just talk about those two for a moment. I said about Daniel James at the start of the first half, and now I got a few pelters for this. I said, I don't want him to start every game because that's not what he was bought for. He's a championship winger with potential. He's not straight into a United team to try and get top 4. It's too much. He's got to be used like sparingly and work his way in. Wan-Bissaka, and I'll get your points on both, Paul, but Wan-Bissaka, he is titanium. He's just nobody gets past him. And, you know, having had Ashley Young there for a couple of years, it's just such a contrast, but nobody gets past him. But yeah, I think with Daniel James, it's about patience, and Wan-Bissaka was hands down the best player on the pitch, I felt.
Yeah, I think Daniel James is a development player. That's what we're looking for, but because of our recruitment strategy, he's being treated as one of the main signings who's going to come into the team straight away. I don't think that's the case. I think he needs to be given leeway and pressure. We can't put that much pressure on him because it can break people at United. United's a big enough club to do that. Wan-Bissaka, what a legend already. I mean, he's an absolute fan favourite straight away. What teams won't do now is target our left-hand side, which they were doing before. So that immediately changes the tactics teams coming. He's no one can get past it. He's ridiculous. And if he can find a good pairing down the right-hand side with whoever it may be, James or Martial or, dare I say, Sanchez. Pazaka, you can see Pogba's linking up with him brilliantly already. He's got that football intelligence. He knows where to be, when to go forward and when to go back. I think Wan-Bissaka, 50 million, honestly, I think it's going to look an absolute steal.
Peninsula Floating Floor says, hi Mark, United supporter in Melbourne. The entire stadium is Manchester United supporters. These highly paid players need to entertain them. Do they understand? Well, I'm just going to quickly take this opportunity, because Paul has kindly joined me at half time, just to quickly go and take a quick toilet break. But what I would say, I'll leave you to Paul to talk for a moment. With regards to the second half, Paul, if you could just sort of say, you know, what changes you would make and what, you know, tactically United need to do, and I'll give you a minute or so.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about Lingard. He's been a disappointment. I don't think anybody would disagree with me there. So if I was going to do anything, I think I'd take Lingard out and put Angel Gomez in there, because I think Gomez he's a Rolls Royce of a player. Maybe needs to be a little bit bigger, but I think he can do a better job. He drifts into better positions and uses the ball better. In terms of changes on the wings, I think Daniel James will probably come off. I don't know who to replace him with, but in terms of our tactics, I think Ollie's doing the right thing. The press is brilliant. Like, overall, we've got different solutions for different areas, but overall, with our press, the way Ollie's playing, it is different to when we played last season, or it is the same, but we've got better fitness and better players to do it. Now, we need to keep that up. The problem was we used to do it for the first 20 minutes last season, and then we'd fade, and then we'd let teams back into the game. Now we look like we're keeping the press up and we're keeping it on them. And teams don't like it. Inter Milan, as much as, they haven't got the best team out, they haven't had much of the ball. We keep getting it back in the final third, and that's what the press is there for. Win the ball back in the final third, create chances from that. So in terms of Ollie's tactics, I think he's doing the right thing, and we're implementing it well. I mean, the team's learning how to do it. That's going to take a long time. It took Pep and Klopp at least a year to implement their style of play and get it fine-tuned. Now, we need to give Ollie time. Will he get time? Depending on results, I suppose. But I'm looking to see a good start to the season if we keep this up. And it's a different way of playing. It's more positive, but we need to move the ball quicker, because we're making the same mistakes as we were last season in terms of moving. And funnily enough, it's the same players that are slowing us down. Matic.
He's terrible, Matic, isn't he? I just sat down and heard Matic. Go on.
He kills us. He kills our play. He plays sideways, backwards. Even on the counter-attack, he's so slow. So the press is there. We've got the right players to do it. But my worry is the same players that were doing the same things last season and letting us down are also doing the same things in the pre-season and letting us down. So is that going to change? Matic being slow, Lingard being wasteful, Rashford being slightly immature in his thinking. So those players need to step up. Most of my positives have been the new players that are coming in the youth. The players that are already there and bottled it last season, I think they're doing a similar thing this pre-season. So it's a bit worrying.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely spot on. I mean, the Matic thing, I said this in the first half, you almost get... you feel bad for sort of saying the same thing, because it almost comes across as you being a bit, targeting certain players. But the point remains that with regards to Matic, he slows us down in every aspect of the game. People run off him when we've not got the ball. When he's got the ball, he's a bad player for what United want to be. And I said it about Fellaini for years, and it does start to become a bit victimisation, but it's not, because we're talking about our football club. And Lingard, I mean, look, he should be... I predicted Lingard was going to be the star of the pre-season. Not necessarily the star of next season, but I thought he'd have a good pre-season because he's got a point to prove. He's got really good natural fitness levels. There was a point after about 25 minutes, he loses the ball, and then he's sort of walking back, and then he doesn't even end up being in the screen, and you're like, how is Lingard... What? How? How is this player who's got great fitness levels just so not engaged in the football match?
It only takes, if you've got a certain way of playing, and Ollie's way of playing is counter-attack, it only takes 2 or 3 players in that team to let down that type of football in terms of slow play, not passing forward, for everything to stop and you have to reset. That's the problem. If you've got a Matic in there and he turns like a cruise ship, let's face it, by the time he comes back round, everybody stopped their forward runs and they're making their way back. And that's just kills any type of way we play. I mean, Ollie ball, I call it Ollie ball, but he wants fast movement, break, counter quick. If it stops, you have to reset. And anybody resetting the play, it kills us completely. So it matters.
Right, Paul, I'm going to get you on in the last 10 minutes of the game, if that's okay, just to get your thoughts on it, because we're about to kick off the second half now. But yeah,
mate.
Willing to come back,
still positive. Still think we're going to win 3-1, but I'll see you later.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you in about half an hour or so.
Right, sounds. See you in a bit.
Cheers, Paul. Good points there from Paul, one of our moderators. Normally pops up on the call-in as well. Everyone needs a bully. Without Lukaku, you have no one, says Capital Callum. I think that's... I want Lukaku to go. Perisic is coming on, by the way. I want Lukaku. It'd be interesting to see what our Wan-Bissaka goes against Perisic if he goes on that side. Of course, Perisic can play either side. But yeah, it is an interesting one to see. United haven't made any substitutions second half, which is baffling, really. It's baffling when you're on pre-season and you're playing badly and you don't make substitutions of players who are underperforming. Again, answers on a postcard to that. You've got 2 or 3 players playing shit. You've got a full squad on a pre-season tour and you don't take any of them off. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what Paul was saying. I've said it myself, and I'm sure a lot of you have said it as well. Matic in this team is the same Matic as last year. He slows us down. He's the reason he's called Static Matic. He's too slow. And it makes us slow. But let's hope in the second half we can do a little bit more. But I think we've already seen from this game that, you know, Inter Milan are weak behind us on their pre-season, and they're happily knocking the ball about and giving us a game of football that realistically I think we should be winning ourselves. That's a lovely cross. Whew, God. United on the back foot a little bit here. That's a foul. Andy Knight says we're not playing that badly. Ollie looks pissed off, says Rems04. I didn't see him. And Footfellas FC, why does this guy just moan all the time? Yeah, mate, you've clearly not been watching the channel for that long. It's not how it works. We're not... Look, I'm more than happy to put opinions up there, but don't start telling me how to think as a Manchester United fan. It's really condescending. Everybody's got to know their opinion. If you want to be jumping for joy saying we're fine, great. I'll respect that. Don't tell me how to think. We are a football club that needs a massive rebuild, and we've spent next to nothing, and we've only got 2.5 weeks left of a transfer window. I'm worried about my football club, and that first half was, you know, we didn't lose it, but we're up against a team we should be creating a lot more chances against. We're a lot fitter than them because we've been training longer. And the ball is side to side. We're not moving it quick enough. I mean, we've just done it there. We're going side to side again. Inter Milan are just getting back into position very quickly. And this has been United's problem for the last 3 years. We don't stretch teams because we don't move the ball from back to front quick enough. And if you look at Inter Milan at the moment, they've got 7-8 players behind the ball, everyone's in position. You can't just play that killer pass because we've wasted the opportunity. You've got to move the ball quickly from back to front to exploit people. Like, look what Inter have just done here. The ball goes back. I mean, he's wasted the pass there, but the ball went from back to front very quickly. We don't move the ball from back to front quick enough, so everyone gets back into position quick. And Perisic is playing on the side of Wan-Bissaka, so that's going to be interesting. XTAL86 says they need a run out, therefore no need for subs. I disagree with that though. Why do they need a run out? Why do they need a run out when they're not good enough? Like, why is Matic being given a run out? I'd rather see McTominay come on and McTominay start games. Like, I don't agree with them having a run out when they're not good enough to be in our first team. If we sell Lukaku, we won't finish in the top 6, says Mr. Silas 2-0. Oh no, I don't think. I'm not going to get on this keep Lukaku train. I don't necessarily agree with that. See, that's better from Matic. He wins the ball and he plays it forward quickly. And now Inter Milan are out of position. Martial into Pogba. Let it go. This should be 1-0. He puts it. Oh, he doesn't hit it well enough, Lingard. And it's cleared. Well, I wouldn't even say it was cleared off the line. He tries to pass it into the goal. There's an Inter Milan player there to stop it. But it was better because Matic played the ball quicker. And then we're running at Inter Milan who were out of position. So that was better from Manchester United there. This is how teams like Man City and Liverpool score so many goals, because they move the ball quickly from back to front. And United just haven't done that enough in the first half. That was much better, and that's why we created a good chance to score a goal, which I think Lingard should have scored. But the better thing is, Matic moves the ball quicker. And Matic gets a lot of the stick because he's playing in a position that is so important as the CDM. Here's Daniel James. Into Wan-Bissaka. Oh, it's a good cross, but you've got three. That's a good cross from Wan-Bissaka. But you've got 3 players playing the same line. If you've got 3 players waiting across, one needs to anticipate. Ollie knows there. He knows full well. The cross comes in from Wan-Bissaka here. You've got 3 United players in the same line. One should be going for the front post, one should be going for the back post, and one should be hanging around the penalty box. Then, depending on how the cross goes, you've got different angles to hit. But they're all in the same line there. It's a corner. It's Rashford. Will it beat the first man? It's a good corner. Is it the post? I think it was Lingard. Good corner. Lingard hits the post. From a header. Well, that's a... No, it's Matic. That would have been the second corner in 2 games. We'd be getting a nosebleed if we'd scored. United have come into this more. Oh, good shot there from Pogba. Spills it, Handanovic. And I think Rashford was offside. Better from United. Oh, God, I tell you what, I can't be getting on with this new Twitter. It's shit, isn't it? It's absolute crap. Just get off, get off. Get off. Right, let's have a look at what people are saying. We've had a good 5 minutes in this game now. Watch out. Twansibi. It's given a penalty. Oh, bog off. Penalty against Twansibi there. It looked a bit rash. Or is he giving a corner? He's giving a corner. I thought he'd given a penalty then. This ref's so dodgy. I thought he'd given a bloody penalty. He's given a corner. Good defending there by Wan-Bissaka. It was a bloody brilliant cross from Inter Milan. De Gea's got to come for that. Off the line by Wan-Bissaka. Come on. De Gea looks a little bit rocky, doesn't he? A little bit ropey. Off the line by Wan-Bissaka. And I thought he did get it off the line technically there. But I thought his defensive header from the cross just before that was brilliant. Because it was a really good cross. Good game though this second half. Good game. Good workout. Oh, Twansibi's been turned there. Perisic is causing problems at the moment for Axel. What a cross that was. Goal kick. United looking a little bit ropey there from United, to be honest with you. He did look offside. Good chance. Perisic it was. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're live for every Manchester United pre-season game. So it'll be Spurs next Thursday. But remember, we're live every single night at 8 o'clock. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. transfer daily. We've got fan cams coming up outside the ground with Flex. He's over there in Singapore. Match reaction with me straight after the game. We'll go live if there's any big news for United. So get involved. United are on the break here with Daniel James. He's looking to his right for Wan-Bissaka. It's a poor ball. I think Daniel James today, it's been a bit of a reality bite, hasn't it? The effort's there. The talent's there. It's just not quite come off for him. So, that's fine. It's going to be a patient thing with Daniel James. Mark, you can see that Ollie is getting mad, says Reshwan Rose. I think Ollie's mad with the lack of movement in the penalty box from the forwards. We're getting into good positions. The new Caton 2009 has just subscribed to the channel. Matic, hit it! He's taken too many touches again. I'd get Mason Greenwood on. I think Rashford's been poor. Michael Willows says, how is this team going to get us 4th place? Look at Wan-Bissaka here tracking back. Oh, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast, Wan-Bissaka. Absolute unbelievable. He's just a bargain. Absolutely amazing. The tracking back. That is unbelievable. You've got to see that. I didn't realise. I actually didn't even realise he was this good. I thought he was a good right back who would grow into hopefully a top-class right-back at Manchester United. He's absolutely superb. Nothing gets past him. He's absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. And here's a worry because now Lindelof's gone down with an injury. But, it's Phil Jones. If you didn't need a reminder of how United need to spend in the transfer market, Phil Jones is coming on for Lindelof. But he's cheap at that price, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Somebody just said there. Scott Cook just said Aaron Wan-Bissaka's a bargain. He's cheap at 50 million. So Lindelof, I think, is coming off for Phil Jones. Joe Allen says Aaron Wan-Bissaka is good. He's better than good. He's absolutely brilliant. So Phil Jones is coming on for Victor Lindelof. Phil Jones looks like he needs to wear a bra, doesn't he? He's got a massive chest. I mean, I'm saying it in a good way, Phil. You've just got a very big, disproportionate chest to the rest of your body. He obviously does a lot of weights. Wish I had a chest like that. Oh, a De Gea again. That's 3 today he's flapped at. Goal kick. Phil Jones will never wear pink boots again. He's got no banter. He should. If I was Phil Jones, I would wear the pink boots. He's got no banter. He should wear them. Peninsula Floating Floor says, hi Mark, Matic is captain. I love Ollie, but is he trying to take the mickey out of me? What is going on? Time to go to bed in Australia. Your thoughts? Well, it's only about 10 o'clock in Australia, isn't it? Depends where you are. If you're in Perth, it's about 9 o'clock at night, isn't it? Well, Inter Milan will definitely fancy their chances now that Phil Jones is on. Get another corner, he'll score a goal. United need to make some changes here. Oh, Rashford. Bad first touch. Lazy from Lingard again, losing the ball. Lies on his arse. I think Lingard just doesn't look fit. That was a lovely ball in there. Lovely ball in to Perisic. And he just outstretched him. We need a midfielder, says Maliu. We need more than one. We need more than one midfielder, mate. It's Pogba's been very quiet this second half, hasn't he? I think Matic has actually had an okay second half compared to his first half. It's a lovely ball by Pogba, though, there. It's just the way Pogba can play an attacking pass. It's just effortless. That's a foul on Wan-Bissaka. And he's hurt himself. Skriniar. Timothy Kelly says, Mark, you're behind my TV. Yeah, but remember, I mean, I'm watching this on MUTV, but I'm in England and this game's happening in Singapore. So I would imagine some people in some areas will be getting it quicker than we are. Phil Jones is up for the cross. He'll score this, you know. Phil Jones, top scorer for United this season, says Levi Pegler. He could be going for 2 in 2 here. The freeze on Jones, who low-key is acting rubbish, but he's thinking, if I get my head on this, we ain't signing Harry Maguire. Let's wait and see what happens with this from Pogba. It's a cross. I don't think he'd shoot. Well, Phil Jones, you're not in a good position there now, Phil. It's into the wall. I think Pogba did shoot for that. And Inter Milan will clear. Matic again. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Welcome to the channel, Lingard. Foul. I think he needs to make some subs now. You know, these players, a lot of these players have had like an hour. Lingard looks knackered. Here we go. Loads of subs happening now. Luke Shaw's off. Pereira, Delo, McTominay, Fred, Gomez, Greenwood, Bailly coming on. Romero. Mata. It's virtually a whole change of a team. Pogba's coming off. Mata's coming on. Young's coming on. Greenwood's coming on. Young is captain. So it's the end of the game in that sense, really. And would you be happy with that first team half? So it's an opportunity now for some of these young kids to... Because Inter Milan haven't changed their team, have they? Inter Milan have kept their team the same. So it's an opportunity for these youngsters and fringe players to come on and make a change and do a bit of difference. Matic has gone off. They've all gone off. I don't think anybody's stayed on. Even De Gea's gone off. So the whole team has changed as far as I can tell. I'm trying to see who the front three would be. Greenwood, Chong. And Inter Milan nearly score there. So Pereira would be in the midfield with McTominay. And Fred. So you've got Bailly and Jones centre back, Delo right back, Young left back, Romero in goal. Midfield three of Fred, Pereira and McTominay, and then Matic, Greenwood and Chong. So Gomez doesn't get on, which is a shame. Penalty! God, that's a pen. I thought that was a penalty to United there. Skriniar pushing Pereira there, saying that he dived. The ref's crap anyway. I thought it was a penalty. It's ironic how Lingard is a number 10 but keeps running into wide spaces, says Adu Gemimfi Aboku. Well, we'll talk about Lingard in my match reaction, but I think I don't get what we're doing with him at the moment. Rashford isn't still playing. He's gone off. The whole team has changed. There's nobody from the first half playing now. Gomez didn't get on, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, I agree. Lindelof has gone straight down the tunnel, injured. Twitter gone crazy, thigh problem, reports who me. We need to go and buy a centre back, don't we? We know that anyway, and if it hurries the deal along, good. No, there's nobody on. Everybody's gone off. There's a whole new team on now. Even the goalkeeper's changed. I think Smalling wasn't part of the squad. I'm having a curry tonight. What are you lot having? Oh, that's not me farting. It's the. I'll show you what it is. I sit on one of these because I go a lot lower without it. It's like it's good for your back support, but when I'm moving around it against the leather, it squeaks a bit. So there you go. Mark, it's 11 p.m. in Melbourne. Night, mate. I'm bored, says Peninsula Floating Floors. Yeah, but is it not 11 p.m. on a Saturday night? Play a bit of FIFA. You know what? I'm happy with this performance today from United though, because what I'm happy about, all I'm bothered about is next season, where we finish in the Premier League, what we do in the Cups. So that's all I'm bothered about next season. What we do in a pre-season game, it's irrelevant, isn't it? But what I want to see in a pre-season game is us being exposed for what our problems are. And we are being exposed for what our problems are today. We are... Gino says take Matic off. He's already gone off, mate. Stop causing yourself high blood pressure. He's already gone. So we have caused ourselves... we have exposed our issues today. The midfield needs strengthening and we need a dominant centre-back. So... if we'd won 4-0 today, there'd be all this positivity around, and I don't think now is the time for that sort of paper in the cracks positivity. We need some reality. There are some positive things in this United team, but it does need investment. So it's 0-0 at the moment. Young still sucks, says Jason Porter. What happens if it ends in a draw? Says Prostate Tickler. What a name. I don't know, because is this part of some stupid pre-season tournament? I don't know. Do you have to have penalties? Probably. I'm sure we drew a game last year and we had penalties. It's a foul on Mata. Lindelof injury gives Leicester more power, says Capital Callum. Well, United have got to sign him, haven't they? That's what United have got to do with Harry Maguire. Paul Robinson says dirty bastard. Inter have been very physical, Paul, I agree. Maybe you can pick that up when you come on in a bit, but they have been physical, but I'm all for that. I'm all for having a proper penalty, proper pre-season. Good play there. Delo whipping the cross in and Greenwood nearly getting across. Apparently, officially, it will be penalties. If it finishes in a draw, it will go to penalties. And Handanovic is a good player. Phil Jones was nearly in again, man. Another cross came in. Watch out for Phil Jones. He's suddenly learnt how to win a header. 20 minutes to go. Just over. Penalties after 90 minutes, says G.I. Joe. Oh, that was a decent cross by Mata from the corner. Tomini. Chong. Pereira. Go on, Pereira. Chong. Oh, that's a penalty. Oh, ref! He's dodgy as hell, this referee. He won't give anything in the box. Bottler. Somebody keeps saying that they're booing Young. I can't imagine that Ashley Young would get booed. I really don't think that's the case. Delo's done well there. Young. Shoot, Young. Straight at the keeper. At least he had a shot. DMV says it was a penalty. They don't show them back. They didn't show the one on Pereira. Well, they did show the one on Pereira back. I thought that might have been a penalty. Phil Jones flicks it on for Inter. Oh, look at Phil Jones. He looks fantastic. Front three, Llewell, is Greenwood, Chong and Mata. And here is Chong. Come on, ref. They are dirty, Inter Milan, aren't they? That's definitely a yellow card. Candreva really didn't need to do that sort of a tackle. Alligator says favourite young player, passes side. instead of forward, and then immediately points next to player to go forward. Hilarious stuff. Favourite young play, says Alligator. United have actually looked quite good, and I suppose it's probably to do with having a whole new team on, because Inter Milan haven't done that, have they? But United have got the fitness levels. Good tackle there by Fred. Chong. Ooh, just wide. Well won by Fred there. What there is from United is speed in the play now. You know, there's no Matic on the pitch. There's no Lingard on the pitch. And obviously Mata's not quick, but what I'm talking about, the speed of ball movement is suddenly making Manchester United more of a threat. And obviously we've got the fitness levels that Inter don't have, because Inter haven't changed their whole team. Now Inter are going to make a few subs. I think there's Barella's coming on here. He's the small lad there. He's the player that United were linked to in January. I like him. So they're bringing 4 players on here into Milan. João Mario. What a pass by McTominay, says KB Amor. Phil James is hot. Look, he's having a drink. You can stand under my umbrella. Oh, yeah, Nicola Barella. We were linked to him in January. Went to Inter Milan. Wake the Fallen says that Conte won't even play Nainggolan. No, Conte's a very... You speak to Chelsea fans or people around Chelsea, Conte's a very... I never would have wanted him at United. He's like Mourinho. He's a bit of a dictator. He's walked into that club and said, Icardi, Nainggolan, I want rid of you, and he won't even use them, which is surely depreciating their value. United Till I Die says, do you think we will make the necessary signings? I think we have to make those necessary signings. We have to. If we don't, we can react to it on August the 8th as a fan base, but we have to make those signings. Very physical team into Milan, aren't they? Lynn Hall says, much faster build-up without Matic. Take note, Ollie. Yeah, 100%. Well, if it stays 0-0, it's going to be a penalty shootout. And I don't think Inter Milan have got a goal in them. So hopefully United will just nick a goal and we can end on 90 minutes, because penalty shootouts in pre-season games, who gives a shit? Like, really? Ashley Young on a free kick. Oh, go on. Yes! Yes! Get in! Mason Greenwood, that is class, that is. Greenwood makes it 1-0. Ashley Young swings in a cross. Palmed out by Handanovic. Calm as you like from Mason Greenwood. Actually does the defender with a little touch to the left and makes it 1-0 to Manchester United. We won't be getting penalty shootouts. Greenwood scores again, and it's a much better goal than last time. A star is born. He is absolutely fantastic. I just like what he did as well. It was calm, it was assured, and it was bang. There's loads of players there. Loads of players. in the way for Greenwood. And he drops to him on the back post. He doesn't smash at it. Cuts inside. Bang. It's a bloody it's a bloody good finish as well, because he's got to get it through about 4 players. It's not just a smash and hope. He actually puts it into the one space you can get it into. And it's Manchester United 1, Inter Milan 0. And it's Mason Greenwood. A star is born. I think he's already been born. I think many people know he's already been born. But it's a fantastic goal. Yes. It's woken us up a bit. I think they're all having a water break now as I change score. Oh, what have I done? It's not 1-0 against Leeds. We've already done them. But what I liked about that goal was the way he didn't smash at the chance. He took his time with it. He cut inside and then found a way through. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. 1-0. Well, that is a positive, isn't it? You know, I think there's been a lot of concern. It's got a wand of a left foot. Wand of a left foot. Get the wand of a left foot out emoji out, somebody. Because that was a wand of a left foot by Greenwood. Absolutely superb. Makes it 1-0 to Manchester United. But what I really liked about it is when it drops to him, his composure to not smash at the chance. I think if that's Rashford or maybe even Martial, they might just smash at that chance. He doesn't. He takes his time. He cuts inside the player and then puts it in perfectly. Wand of a left foot goal from Greenwood. And United lead 1-0. And there's an overlap here. Pereira wants it. Handanovic clears it. Well, a bit of what's the number? What's the name? A little bit of positivity for us in a game that's been a bit meh from United. The younger lads have come on in the second half and they've certainly given us a lot more impetus than the team did in the first hour. Are we sure he's only 17? So much composure, says Tyler Reid. Snap says, look how composed Greenwood looks after scoring, like it was nothing. Exactly. Oh! Onto the bar there. And I think that was Greenwood again. He's on fire. Lovely cross by... I tell you what, Chong's done well since he comes on as well. Chong skins the fullback, whips the cross in. Greenwood onto the bar. Goal kick. Lovely play. I tell you what, it's been a breath of fresh air, this. In a boring game, Greenwood and Chong have been a real breath of fresh air. And they're, you know, they're not... They might be kids, but they're loving it. And United are just moving the ball a lot quicker in this second with this second team. Pereira, McTominay, Fred just rotating the ball a lot better. And Inter Milan, they just can't get a look in at the moment. Jesus, the tempo without Matic. What a change to Scott Cook. Lukaku, who, Rashford, Greenwood, says LB. Yeah, and I think you've hit the nail on the head there. With no Matic and Lingard, the tempo of the team's gone so... I mean, Lingard just doesn't get on the ball. And obviously Lingard's not a slow player. Matic makes us slow. But Lingard doesn't get on the ball. And you've got a midfield three of Fred and Pereira and McTominay. And they're all getting on the ball. And it makes such a big difference to United. And it makes a big difference to the tempo. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We will be doing a match reaction after this with player ratings as well. So get involved. I'm just happy we're not going to have penalties. Can't be doing any of that shit. But Inter Milan have just not been in this game since all the changes. They've not been able to get into it, and they've made changes themselves. But United have just totally took control of the game. Just moving the ball a lot quicker. And I'm not saying this team's going to be good enough, no way, but just moving the ball a lot better. Hello, Paul, can you hear me?
Oh, mate, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think for the first bit of the first second half, it was the same old crap, too slow. But these substitutions we've made, everybody's just moving the ball a lot quicker. The tempo's gone up, and Inter Milan has struggled.
Yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air. I think it's to do with the centre of the field, to be honest. There's so much quicker.
He's just breaking up a little bit at the moment there, Paul. I don't know whether you can still hear me. Paul? No, we've lost him for the moment, so I'll just wait and see if he does come back. But yeah, just very, very easy for Manchester United at the moment. When they're playing like this, the game, I think this is the way Ollie wants to play as well. And Amsterdam 87 says Matic's replacement is more important than me graduating college. What a line, but I think you're spot on as well. Paul, are you still there? No, he's not. Okay, let me have a quick look at the super chat that's in the comments. Come into here. Greenwood at 17, better than Rashford at 17, says Elliot Warrior. And let's not get carried away, or let's get carried away. Well, whichever way you want to look at it, I think that the way... I just don't want penalties to happen. So, for me, it's a positive. Greenwood has to start against Chelsea, says Alec Martin. I think... do you know what? I think the Greenwood's done fantastically well, but I think also we should reserve some praise for Mason Greenwood. Not Mason Greenwood. Tahith Chong. I think he's been very good as well. And I think... Look, I'm not saying the midfielders who've come on are the answer to Manchester United's problems. I don't think they are. But what I would say is that I do think that what they've done is come on and improve us by moving the ball and keeping the tempo up. And that in itself has made a massive amount of difference. I mean, we've had so much of the ball in the last 15 minutes that we just didn't have in the first 65 minutes. So... yeah, and Inter Milan have thrown in some nasty tackles as well. They've been very, very competitive. And United have sort of like said, well, you know what? We're going to have some of that as well. And it's all kicking off a little bit at the moment. So the referee's going to have to do some work. I mean, Fred didn't really do much wrong there on Barella. But there was a tackle that went in that was a little bit tasty before that. But the referee sorted it out. Much ado about nothing, I would say. But we've still got a few minutes left in this game. I don't think Inter Milan will get back into it because they have been... we knew it coming into the game that they were a little bit toothless, so to speak. And I think, you know, look, there's many things we can say about this performance, and we'll talk about it in the match reaction. But I think that how we go from here, where we go from here into that Spurs game, I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see how we do against Spurs. Inter Milan trying to push a little bit here to get back into the game, but I don't think they will. But Spurs will be a proper game. because their fitness levels are going to be the same. And to be honest with you, I think if Inter Milan had had a forward today, maybe they would have been more of a threat for us as well. But we've won this game with the substitutions that had to be made by changing the team, and that allowed us to take players off who were weak. I mean, next season, you're not going to take Matic and Lingard off, are you? The mistake that Ollie needs to learn is to not pick those players, because he's not going to take them off next season. He's not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to make those sort of levels of... I mean, Chong again there. I mean, filthy. Absolutely filthy into Milan. And Skriniar, I like Skriniar. He would bring some much-needed strength to the Manchester United side, but they've been very, very dirty. I think we can all say that they've been very, very dirty indeed. Chong is a confident player. Start over James, says Callum Azar. And Pereira and Fred look good playing together, says Ari Guadalia. Some dirty play, though, from Inter Milan, I think it's fair to say. I'm actually just going to tweet out on Twitter, funnily enough, a poll for Man of the Match, which is always a different, hard thing to do, considering, you know, some people have only played like half an hour, 20 minutes. But I've got 4 candidates. I hate new Twitter. I just hate new Twitter. It's rubbish. Proper rubbish. Bay cuts across there. Nothing doing. About 3 minutes left. We will be live after this with a match reaction, don't worry. A lot of people saying Greenwood man of the match. Why am I not surprised? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has pride as a man in top football. You don't play him for call that impers into the best coach in the world. Lukaku is done with United, says Onyan Nakbabi. Mark, the Spurs game will be on my birthday next week, says George Ramos. And it frustrates me so much that we play hardball over the transfer of Lukaku. Why not just switch with Icardi, says Blade the Third. Well, maybe because maybe because we've got Greenwood coming through. Imagine Wan-Bissaka with this midfield and attack, says Rui Rodriguez. Would resigning Zaha be a bad idea, says Stig Tvengi. I have no inclination or expectation that we are in for what's his face? Wilfried Zaha. I just do not think that we are in for Wilfried Zaha. So I would say there's next to no chance of that happening. Pereira's just been booked for leaving something in on Skriniar, which is fine, because why wouldn't you? Skriniar's been quite dirty in this game himself. Right, 10 seconds of the 90 left. Another win for Manchester United. I'm not really bothered about the win. It's about the contrast between the two teams. It's about the transfers that we still need to make at this football club. That's what I'm interested in. He's had 4 minutes on. It's a pre-season game, man. Just blow up on the 90th minute. You don't have time on in a pre-season game. Is he having a laugh? He's having a bloody laugh. Just see it out, boys. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to talk about it in my match reaction, but for me, I've enjoyed this last 20 minutes with the youngsters coming on and moving the ball around and showing a lot of energy. It's been really good. The first hour has exposed the problems that we've got in the senior levels. Tahith Chong is actually down at the moment, which is a bit of a concern. We don't want to see anything happening to old Tahith. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed the last 20 minutes, but we've got to make these signings. You know, nothing's going to paper those cracks. We've got to make those signings. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble next season, because I don't think Ollie's going to start McTominay and Fred and Pereira over Matic and Lingard. And the only reason that's going to happen is if people... I was just a bit worried with Chong there that it was his knee, because he had a bad knee injury before, and it would be heartbreaking for him to lose any more time with a knee injury. So we don't want anything like that. But Greenwood there just annihilating Skriniar with a bit of skill. It was a flashback. But he's the real deal. He's the real deal. Mason Greenwood. And rival fans don't want to listen. Gomez is coming on for Chong. No need to risk him any further. And we've got about a minute and a half left. Inter Milan on the attack. Eric Bay with a diving header to clear it. And Mata with a shit ball. Inter Milan will keep hold of it. Might be one last chance for Inter Milan, who've done nothing in this game anyway, and Romero catches it, so nothing will be going there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way, and thanks everyone who's joined us for the watch along today. Remember, we're live for every United game. We go live a bit before the game, talk about the team selection, etc. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We will have fan cams with Flex interviewing some of the fans outside the ground afterwards in Singapore. Obviously, we go live if there's any transfer news and things like that. So you're very, very welcome. And also, you should be able to see in the link in the video description, we've got the link for the match reaction, which I'll be doing straight after this game. So join me over there for that. I'll be talking about man of the match, player ratings. I think the player ratings are going to be very interesting for this game, actually, because we'll be talking more about the team that started and played the most of the game. So yeah, we'll be very interested to discuss that. Where we go from here, how important the game was, how transfers, and etc. So yeah, do join us for that. Real Time says, would Twansibi and Bay be the fastest and most reckless centre-back pairing ever? We just need a centre-back who's good in the air, and that's what Harry Maguire would bring to the team. And that is full time. So Manchester United win 1-0, and Mason Greenwood is the star. He has won us the game, which is absolutely fantastic. So there we go. It's finished 1-0 to Manchester United. I shall turn the timer off. So yeah, we're going to go over to the match reaction now. I'll be live there in about a minute's time, talking about player ratings, man of the match, what we learned from United today, where we need to improve, because this is all about building towards the new season, of course. So click the link in the video description or go through the homepage for my match reaction. I shall see you there in about a minute's time. Thanks everyone for watching the watch along. I'll see you on the match reaction.